happening, weirdos? This is Blair Carlisle. Who's Blair Carlisle, you say? Well, this is kind of a scoop. Blair Carlisle is Uncle Pappy, who I love. He is a daily dose of sunshine on social media. He's the shirtless old man in glasses with the mustache who's usually floating in a lagoon and tells us all to have a great day or look at the positive, all like wisdom. I made it sound trite. I can't quite do it, but he does it, and he does it brilliantly. And Blair reached out to me, and he's like, "You're not going to believe this, but I'm 30 years old, and I'm an improviser and a real person who made this character, a little bit like Pee Wee Herman." And I started posting it. He'll tell you the whole story here. That's why you're here. The story of Uncle Pappy, the story of Blair Carlisle. I'm glad you're here. If you don't follow Uncle Pappy on social, or if you follow Blair, do it. It's a dose of sunshine, and we need that. And I'm so glad that he took the time to come in and make it weird. It's a delight. I'm so glad y'all are here. So thank you for joining us. Not too much to plug, as I always say on my end. I am going to be, let's see, this comes out next week. So that means North Carolina. Actually, January 21st, I'm at Largo in Los Angeles. North Carolina, South Carolina, Miami, Michigan, Irving, Texas, Madison, Wisconsin, Denver, Colorado. Those are my tour dates. They're all on PeteHolmes.com. And regardless of when you hear this episode, my tour dates are always on PeteHolmes.com. So I hope to see you out on the road. And thank you to everybody who's been coming out. The shows have been awesome. In the meantime, enjoy my chat with the incredible Blair, Uncle Pappy, Carlisle. Get into it.
I was hoping for some magic minds.
Here it is. There it is. I already had mine. I just took it.
Wow. This is wild. This is awesome.
I'm glad you're here, man. I really am. Please have your shot.
I'm very happy to be here.
I'm glad. I watched it. I think I mentioned this all the time, but there was an interview that Charlie Rose did with David Letterman, and the whole interview, David Letterman's trying to light a cigar.
Yeah.
And it really bugs me. I'm like, just let him. Mm-hmm. So please have your drink.
Oh, yeah,
and
this
relax,
is
and that's your cigar.
This is my cigar.
It is. It is. So here you are, man.
Wow.
What's funny is, like,
I know.
The episode will be called Uncle Pappy, right? I mean, we'll say Uncle Pappy makes it weird.
Yeah,
but you're
I guess.
Blair.
It could be like Blair parentheses Uncle Pappy. It could be Uncle Pappy parentheses Blair. Either,
Well, what's your last name?
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Not that I would. I mean, why would I? I know you as Uncle Pappy.
Yeah.
And here you are. Blair, a real person.
I know. It's weird. I forget I'm real. I forget I'm a real person, too.
Well, how do you feel today? Before we get into the whole start of it, we don't need to jump in. It's not a job. I feel like you have this effect on me and a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Like watching your stuff, obviously, and just again this morning to just prepare in a light way. It's like, what are we so stressed about? You know what I mean?
No,
we are just kind of in a lagoon.
We're in a lagoon. I mean, it's true. It's so funny you say that because honestly, I was watching Uncle Pappy videos this morning to not be stressed. Because I was like, not that I'm stressed or like.
No, I know what you mean. Tense.
I'm a little
alert.
You know.
Tell me. You use your word. Don't use my word. I would say tense. That's how I feel when I'm about to do something.
I don't know if it's tense. It's kind of like I've like been in bands my whole life and done shows and improv and stuff, and it's always like beforehand. Even when you know it's going to be good, you're just like, beforehand, you're like, it doesn't matter how much you convince yourself it's going to be fine. Yeah. And when you step on stage, it is fine. Yeah. But the lead up, you're like, oh God, this is crazy. Yeah. And like, I was telling you, I have like the most vivid memory of being on a family vacation in high school and listening to You Made It Weird and thinking, I have to figure out how to be on You Made It Weird before Pete Holmes stops doing this.
Oh, wow.
And like, it's always been like my fear, like you would ever announce that you didn't do it. And now I think that's why I'm nervous too, because I wake up like going to bed last night, I'm like, wow, I can't like, it's
so
one
honored.
of those.
That's so sweet.
One of those weird moments in life where you're just like, wow.
I know what you mean. And I really want to say how hard I relate to what you just said, because I was in San Francisco this weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's a very friendly city for me. It always has been. I've been going there for 15 years and like as a headliner, just loving it. And still the Saturday, so I had already done 3 shows, and then Saturday's the last 2. Saturday, I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting. I always joke with my comic friends. I'm like, you just sit in the room like a cop, like you're on a stakeout. I just sit there. I can't. I tried to watch a movie, and there's nothing rational about it. Meaning, I had already done the show 3 times. It works. It's not like I would understand nerves if I was like, oh, it's a new hour. I don't know if this is going to work. Like, what order am I going to go in? What's the room like? What's the city like? What's the vibe? I know all of those things, and still the body doesn't listen.
Yeah.
The brain says, we got this. And the body goes, I don't know. I think we should be kind of like hurt your shoulders a little bit. We're going to fuck up your sleep a little bit. We're going to make it so you can't focus on one battle after another. I had already seen it, but I'm watching it and I'm like, I know this movie's amazing. And I'm like drifting off, just thinking about like every once in a while writing down a little note, but it's not really productive. It's just like hyper vigilant. We call it coyote mode. So you might be in coyote mode.
No, exactly. It's like your body, it's like evolutionarily your body's like, a predator might come and get us right now.
That's exactly what it is.
And it's like, no, I'm just going to go on a podcast.
And
a tiger isn't going to kill me right now.
Maybe I'm super papped out right now. That's what the fans say. I might be super papped out, but I'm just sort of like, all suffering comes from some sort of it's all made by thought. It's like, oh, maybe this will go badly. And then maybe people will think less of me or think less of you. I'm speaking as you and myself. Like they'll think less of us. It'll be bad. They'll know I'm a fraud. All of this is just sort of like a self-tortured, none of it is real. What I'm saying is like, Pappy helps me remember to lighten up. That's helpful to remember as we're doing this. Did any of that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
He helps me remember to lighten up too. Like, you know, I don't know, he's become like my best friend almost.
Oh, really?
Like, where he's just it's like in my life, I'm like, if everything goes right, if I'm the person that I just really want to be, it's that guy. Yeah. And so then he's kind of like the version of me I can ask for advice for different things, you know?
I don't find that to be strange at all. I relate really hard to that. I think a lot of people, when they do therapy or to be a little bit stranger, maybe hypnotherapy. Welcome to LA, Blair. Welcome. I'm just saying, like, a lot of inner work stuff involves conjuring, meaning you're making it up, materializing in your mind the image of some sort of higher self. And that's been the standard of therapy for decades. And it's like, for a reason, you think of this avatar or this like symbol who is you, but is like what you want to be. And for some reason, that's more useful than just thinking of, you know, a sports hero or like a superhero like Batman or something like that. I find it better to think of a version of myself that's talking to me.
Well, it's kind of like what I think, like you said, I think I got this from you, and you said, like, if it's mentionable, it's manageable.
Yeah, that's Mr. Rogers, but yes, I do say that all the time.
Yes. And like, this kind of the mentionable version of yourself where you're like, if you think of all these esoteric things, you can think of like a million reasons why you're not like Batman. Yeah. But like, you can kind of, I think it also started, I don't drink. Yeah. And like February 1st will be 6 years. Nice. And one of the things too with like the higher power is I've talked to like a lot of different people who are kind of turned off from, well, I also don't go to AA or anything, but like just from, you know, the 12 steps or different things about the higher power, and a lot of like atheists or people get turned off from the higher power. Yeah. And I'm like, just make your higher power the best version of you. Yeah. Like that should be the person that you're like, go to for advice, be like, you know, they always say like, do as I say, not as I do. And I'm like, well, you could be that for yourself too. Yeah. And that's kind of Pappy how kind of became that for me. You mean there's a version of you, even if you are tripping up in your own life, there's a version that knows what you want and lean on that. Like that's what you mean, like what I say, as opposed to where you are. Because like most people, like, you know how I always say, people are like, it's so hard to know what the right thing to do is all the time. They're like, you have a lot of hard decisions in life and stuff. And it's like, 99% you know what the right thing to do is. Yeah. It's like the hard part is like either doing it or convincing yourself to not do the right thing. Right. You know? Yeah. And so like we all have, you know, the like witness who's in the back of your mind going like, dude, you don't, like, this is not good. Right. And so it is kind of just like, I think everybody has the capacity to have that voice in their head. And you do know it.
And you know where it reveals itself is like, for me, it's like, what is making you cry? And I don't just mean like sad tears. I mean, like if you watch a movie and you're really stirred by something and you're tearing up, it's like, that's your compass that knows, oh, maybe I'm not in the right relationship. Maybe I don't have the right friends. Maybe I'm not pursuing the right thing creatively or professionally or whatever it is. And you might not know because, and no shade, I've been in times like this in my life. Maybe the people around you aren't really helping you wake up to that highest self, but the things that make you emotional, that's that like, that's that thing pulling you towards it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's like a gravitational pull to your higher self. And you know it when you start feeling like intense emotion.
Yeah, it's almost like the emotional version of like deja vu, almost. Where it's
exactly.
Like, like a like primal part of your brain is like, hey, pay attention to this.
That's right.
You know, like this like a little thread.
That's why you go like, why did that mean so much to me? I think about that when I in my own therapy. My favorite movie is There Will Be Blood, and my friend Joe. You kind of look like him right now.
Oh my God,
just a little bit.
This is my son, H.W.
It's very sing-songy. He goes up and, my son and business partner, H.W. Plainview. Yes, that movie, I loved it when it came out. I was probably 33 when it came out. I'm 46. I'm still unpacking why I love it so much. And like, I'm looking back and going like, oh, he has this weird thing with his brother. And my brother and I are very close now, literally my physical brother. But like growing up as a kid, I kind of felt like I had to beat him. And that's what he does in the movie. And no spoiler, it's been like 20 years. But I'm just like, why, when I was watching that movie, there are all these parts, all these really dark things, including murdering his brother, that like meant something to me. And I didn't even have a clue as to why. And you like stick with it and they start opening up. That's that deja vu. I don't know why I love this movie, but the symbols in it speak to me, and they're like little invitations to kind of unpack yourself.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I feel like it's very similar about emotions, just in general.
Yes,
because like if someone makes you like someone cuts you off in traffic, it's so simple, and you get that like burst of energy or burst of anger.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like people just drop it at that, and I'm like, you don't want to explore that. Like, and emotions are actually just like I think it's like a thread into the labyrinth of your brain. Yeah, and most people don't see that, but I'm like, why did that make you mad?
It's like a rope ladder through the clouds. Yeah, you could grab it and climb up,
and you could go and you can explore, and then you can figure out how to not have that flash of anger happen. Because you're like, a lot of your like mental pathways are formed back before you actually know how the world is supposed to work. Yeah. So like I'm always like the like quick to anger like on ramp that I like built in my head when I was like in high school, and I didn't understand how the world was, but that's just the path that like the thoughts walk down. So it became like a well-worn path that makes it very like easy. Like it's easy for thoughts to go down a well-worn path, and then you go like, I made this like when I couldn't drive.
I think about this.
I didn't like I like didn't know what actual love was, or like romantic love. Like there's so many different things where like my relationship with jealousy, relationship with anger, all these things are like holdovers from a time before you actually knew what the real world was like.
You made a whole, it's like a labyrinth. We're mixing metaphors, and the water goes down just the easiest path. And I always use the example of when I'm at the airport and I'll see somebody, I'll just have some really harsh judgment about them. It's not like it doesn't overwhelm me. It's not like a loud thought, but I'll just be like, it's hard to come up with an example that's just not so mean. So I'll just see somebody and let's say I think their clothes are ugly. I mean, like that is not a real one. I would typically be much meaner, but I notice it's completely reflexive. And just going back to what you're saying, it's a program that I installed when I was like 9, 10 years old, living in Boston in the 80s. Like, why am I still running this program? And your brain is very, you could say, in the positive, you could say it's very pragmatic, just kind of wants to do what works. I got to think something. I'm just going to think nasty. Like judgment is very easy. And then it does take a little bit, and this is what Uncle Pappy seems to be into, is like, couldn't we just nudge it? Yeah. You use that example, somebody cuts you off. Well, I hope they're on a grand adventure. Like when my wife and I were driving from this house to the hospital to give birth, I'm sure I was driving kind of safe, but nuts. You never think that. You never think they might be on their way to the hospital to deliver their first baby.
Yes.
You just think, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes. And I always, like, one of my favorite things is, like, the David Foster Wallace, This is Water.
This is water.
And he always, like, he gives the example of, like, you know, like the guy who cuts you off in traffic might be, like, rushing his son to the hospital.
Yeah.
But then I kind of, like, I'm like, well, it doesn't have to be a tragedy that the person who cut you off is going through.
Yeah.
Like, there could be, like, you know, stressed on their way to the first date, and they, like, spent way too long trying to pick out a shirt, and, like, now he's, like, maybe about to have the best night of their life, and it's okay for him to cut me off then, too.
Right.
Maybe it's not okay, but I don't have to, like, let it ruin my night.
Well, you know, it's funny, as my daughter's 7, and, you know, she's experimenting with things like, I hate this. Like, I think maybe I said this already, but it bears repeating. We were crossing the street, it was dark and it was rainy, and a car started to take a left right in front of us. Mm-hmm. So I yelled, like, hey, because I needed them to see us. It was like a dark road, not well. Anyway, that was the right thing to do. I didn't regret yelling. Although it was funny, Leela was like, why did you yell? And I was like, because they didn't see us. And then Leela goes, but you yelled after they had already finished the turn. And I was like, you're right. I wanted them to know that they made a mistake. Mm-hmm. Like, so that is part of culture, is like going like, you fucked up to me, and I want you to know. Like, we want accountability. But then you go like, what's so funny about, she's like, I hate that person, she said. She was just trying to formulate, like, I don't like what that person did. I don't like what happened. That was scary. And what I said was, and this seems pretty Uncle Pap if I may compliment myself, I was like, we have to be careful how we talk to the world because it's how we talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds so obvious, but if you want to be forgiven or included. So like what I started saying to her, I was like, baby, I've made lefts on dark, rainy nights and then seen a father and daughter crossing the street. Like, I've done almost exactly that. And it's almost like it's your turn to be on the crosswalk and it's your turn to be in the car. Mm-hmm. But like, when it's your turn to be on the crosswalk, so in the right, it's your turn to have some grace, have some mercy about it. Yeah. I'm not saying don't yell, but like, we can not hate them because I'm 46. I know I've done that exact goofy move so many times. So it was just my turn. Does that make sense?
No,
like,
yeah.
Oh, no, it's just my turn to be in the right. And another time, I'll be the one that didn't see the person in the crosswalk and they yell at me.
100%.
Right?
It is, yeah, it's... Oh, yeah, no worries. It's like, I kind of view it like how they say, if you're like playing tennis, in order to get good at tennis, you have to play with someone who's better than you.
Yeah.
And I feel like everyone who annoys you in your day-to-day life, who cuts you off, is like the better tennis player, teaching you how to be better at life.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
It's kind of like the dude at the grocery store who just like gets in front of you in line. I'm like, you're actually like training, like this is like my workout. This is my exercise right now.
That's the little resistance.
It's the little bit of resistance.
You're so right. What a nightmare it would be if you woke up and everybody, like my mind, let me back up. Mm-hmm. My mind thinks it wants everyone to act like me. Like, just be like me. Do my things. Mm-hmm. But what a night. If I woke up and everyone was just doing things how I like them done, nothing would ever grow, expand. Nothing would ever rip and heal stronger.
Yes.
You need that guy. It's really easy to remember now, but like the art of it is to, like, you actually mentioned a really good one. I hate when people deplane and the guy in the row behind you tries to go in front of you. I don't know why. I do know why. I'm just like, something about an airplane. This is where we follow rules.
Like, yes.
It's supposed to be ... It's not about me being a better row than you. It's like, we're all leaving the plane. Mm-hmm. Unless they're making a connection or something, then please go. But like, I can tell by your stupid sunglasses, you just want to go.
Yeah. There's the entitlement.
Yeah.
But then it's but those...
It is a tennis player.
It's the tennis player. Because it's the best ones, the best opponents are the ones where it's just purely entitlement and like the ones where you can't make a justification in your mind are the best opponents.
Yeah.
Because then
you can't even. You just have to go. It's just this weird bad thing.
You have to give them grace just for the sake of grace. You can't like do math to figure out why they're deserving of
Which is actually
of forgiveness.
I'm glad you said that, because the David Foster Wallace, which I also like, he uses the example of getting cut off by an SUV, and you're like, another guy in an SUV. Remember in the 90s we hated SUVs because they were gas guzzlers?
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like every other car is an SUV, but who cares? I'm just saying, you see an SUV and that would make him mad. Mm-hmm. And then he would go, but for all I know, that person was in a bad car accident and their therapist told them to drive an SUV so they would feel safe. That's fine. And I think David Foster Wallace would agree with this. He's brilliant. There's nothing I'm going to say that he wouldn't know. I like that, but I do feel like that's a lower frequency of like you just said, math.
Yeah, you're doing math to figure out why you should give them the benefit of the doubt.
Right. Instead of just allowing what is to be, forgiving reality.
Yes.
That's what Richard Rohr calls it. He says the first forgiveness is to forgive reality. And I was like, that goes past my brain and goes to my heart. And I can just go, this happens. I don't need to know why. You could even use religious language and be like, do I know better than what is? Like, should I be in charge? Sometimes people are dicks. And and I can forgive reality for being somewhat nasty.
I like forgiving reality. I mean, it's also kind of like faith, like the nature of faith. When people are like evidence defeats the purpose of faith.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's become the opposite. Yeah.
And so it's kind of like the whole reason for like any type of faith is like, I'm doing this because there isn't evidence.
Right.
And that's the strength in it.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing with like just grace or forgiveness with just a stranger like that.
Yep.
Where, like I said, like doing the math. It's also wait, what did you just say? I'm trying to think. You just said something about
not forgiving reality.
Forgiving reality. Well, it made me. I remember what it made me think of, and then maybe I'll remember what you had said. But it kind of reminds me of like the Buddhist story of like the guy in the boat in the foggy pond, and he runs into a boat,
and he yells at him,
and he yells at the boat, and then the fog clears, and then the boat's empty.
Yeah, and there's nobody in the other boat.
And there's nobody in the other boat, and then I kind of go like, why does it make a difference if the boat is empty?
Yeah.
Couldn't the story be the same even if there is another guy who like ran into him in the boat?
Well, I think, yes, I hear it's an interesting question. I think what they're saying is it's just one thing.
Like there's always the other guy in the boat is you.
I think that's what it's hinting at.
Yes.
But because of that, there could be another person in the boat, but I don't think people would understand that. It's like the one I like to use that's very similar to there's no one in the other boat is Alan Watts says, when the play is over, we all go backstage and take our masks off.
Oh, yeah.
And realize it was just us, entertaining us. There was also that children's book where it's like, their soul's in heaven and they're going to go to earth. And it's like, I'll be someone for you to forgive so you know what forgiveness is. And I'll know, it makes me bawl every time. It's it's like, the soul is like, I want to go to earth. I want to experience all the things. I want to know what it's like to have my heart broken. And another little soul is like, oh, I'll break your heart. Yeah. And you're like, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I really want to like fill out the whole bingo card.
Yes.
And it's like, I need someone, and this is the Ramayana. This is so many spiritual texts. At the end, the twist is the bad guy was also the good guy.
Yes, yeah,
and
exactly.
you just go like, or it was all just one guy. But yeah, okay. I don't know if that
I love
addressed
that.
there's no one in the other boat thing.
No, I love it. Kind of reminds me of like I had this thought at my high school reunion. I just had like my 10-year high school reunion.
Oh, nice.
In 2023, I guess. I wasn't so long or like so recently, but it kind of like going there
3 years
3 years ago,
2 years,
and it was like very similar to like you all go backstage and take your masks off.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me like you go there and there's like the people who are like the jocks and the people who are the bullies and the people like all different people, and everyone's kind of just talking just like, man, weren't we crazy back then?
Yes,
you know?
that is such a good image.
It reminded me so much of like, man, after we all die, we're all going to just look back at life on earth and be like, man, I took stuff really seriously back then. I'm sorry, man. I was going through my own thing. You know, like every single person kind of just goes like, we were all just trying to do our best in the wrong way sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it was like so enlightening, like just beautiful. I know like, I'm sure like not everybody's high school reunions like that, but at least for me, I was like, this is so cool.
No, so usually people have been in the good way humbled. When you're 16 and really good at football, I wouldn't imagine you to be super chill.
Yeah.
Like your body feels no pain and you're amazing at a sport that everyone values and you're handsome or whatever it is. yeah, why would you also be like grounded and respectful
exactly.
or kind? You like maybe kindness was somebody else's football. Like that was what they shined at that. Fine. But at the end, at the reunion, we all go like, what was that all about?
Yeah.
That's why I think we're fascinated with like, we don't like looking at it, but we also do like looking at it on our own terms, which is like death and decay. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or really, really powerful in life. Everyone is like woke up in a body with the same, you have an expiration date, you have vulnerabilities. That's why like anybody that you have a really hard time with, like you can think about them with a really bad cold, you know what I mean? And it's just like just the feebleness, the brokenness. Like I'm thinking like, I just watched the Golden Globe monologue, which was so great.
Oh yeah.
But like The Rock, right? The Rock is just just the symbol of like, you can't hurt me. Like I'm everything. I'm charismatic. I'm intelligent. I'm handsome. I'm enormous. I'm so strong. And it's like, yeah, he gets cold sometimes.
Yeah.
Or he just gets cold sometimes. He needs a blanket. He's like, can somebody
gets
turn on the
splinters.
heat? He gets splinters is a great one. Another one is he tries on sunglasses.
Yeah, and he was not those.
I know, I look stupid. Like he just feels vulnerable. But also, and let's take The Rock out of it, but everybody's going to die. And we don't look at that. We just look at the high school. And then the reunion is going like, this is why usually when people are at the end of their lives, that they tend to open up. They tend to be a little bit more, well, they're literally vulnerable and needy. And that's when we really get into, I don't know, there's something about needing each other that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's so funny how like life is kind of reflective and mirrors each other in just small and big ways. Because also, I always think about one of like the first things that like really hit me, like after I stopped drinking, because like I drank like I was like drunk like every night for like 7 years straight. And then when I stopped drinking, I like grew up 7 years in 1 year because I hadn't grown up for those 7 years.
You paused.
I literally like paused.
Yeah, that's what Arrested Development is. Like I never even understood that pun, the show Arrested Development. I was like, oh yeah, you stop your developing.
Stop developing.
Yeah.
And one of the first things that dawned on me, like after when I was like kind of learning all these things just in life, was like the thought of, like when you're in a fight with like a significant other or a friend or whatever, and then you're like 100% believe like what you're saying and that they're in the wrong, and then you'll even be like I know I shouldn't say this because I'm saying this just to hurt them, but like fuck it, man, I'm just gonna say the thing. And then like
there's a need your pain is so great. You actually need them to hold some of it.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Well, Val and I talk about that in real time a lot on the pod. We're just like, we had an argument on our podcast, and I was like, I knew I was just hurting you, but I needed you. That's how badly I needed you to understand how I was feeling.
Yes,
I actually wanted to make you feel it. What? And I'm doing it like kind of, not even kind of. That's a cop out. I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
I'm going, this won't help.
No, you're like the Joker. You're just like the Joker burning the money. It
is the Joker burning the money. You're
just like, I'm just going to burn it all down.
And like, I don't want to upset you.
Yeah. And then a day, like maybe a few hours goes by or a day goes by, and you start seeing like, oh man, maybe I you see like everything you did wrong.
Yeah.
And just realizing like one of the points of like life and maturing is to get that window smaller.
That's right. Yeah. We're very similar in this. Yeah.
And then I'm like, imagine having that window before the fight even starts.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to wait for the gap for like,
right.
Like the clock doesn't have to start when the fight starts. The clock can just always be going.
Well, not to pat myself on the back, but Val is such a gracious and wonderful, safe person that when we have arguments or dust-ups like that, we do talk about it in real time. I don't know why. That just wasn't modeled. I think that probably happened for the first, I can't say that, but like in 2010. Like I feel like that's a newer thing where more people were getting very interested in going like I know I say this all the time, but Val and I will just go, I'm sorry, I was embarrassed. Like, and when I'm embarrassed, I'll do anything to get out of it.
Oh yeah,
it's like a rat in a hot cage, and I'll say something that's not true. I'll say I don't like somebody that I do. I'll say just anything to get that feeling away from me. but that's one thing. The other thing is to now be able to go, I was just embarrassed. I'm sorry. Like, I didn't like how I was feeling.
And it feels so much better to admit it.
Oh, yeah. And it's great. If you like that, that's the top shelf stuff.
It really, because like same thing, like when I got here and I was just like, I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, the second I said that, I kind of felt way better. I'm like, okay.
That's right. Well, I was
I'm
glad
not
you
pretending
said it.
anymore.
I think, sorry, Katie, if I've told this story before, but I just got a colonoscopy. One everyone should get. It's 45 now. Who knew? Katie, you're way far from that, but you're going to have to at some point. I don't know. How old are you?
30.
30. I know. He plays an old man on the internet, though, don't he? Uncle Pappy's had like 5 colonoscopies.
Oh, yeah. No, I get them just so I can be in character.
I'll do this so fast. When you're going to be a procedure that ended up being absolutely nothing. It was nothing. It was a 0 out of 100.
I have had a colonoscopy.
You have?
I'm
know what I'm talking about.
There's 2 pairs of footprints in the sand during this story.
Nice. And 1 cord dragging from our butts. It's the same cord, though. I don't know why. Like a tail that connects us, like dolls. I'm saying when I was nervous before that procedure, I just loved who I was because I was so tender and so in need and so vulnerable that I felt like a profound and sincere love for everybody that I was encountering. I still remember them. I remember their faces because that's what's so dangerous about money and power is if you can meet all of your own needs, and that in quotes, both meet and needs.
And needs, yeah.
But you're like it's There Will Be Blood again. You're in a castle, you have a butler, you have all the food, you have your own bowling alley. Really dangerous. It's the real juice of life is saying, hey, Pete, I'm a little bit nervous. And me being like, oh, it's your turn to be nervous and it's my turn to be the guy hosting you. And later I'll be nervous and somebody else will host me. And like, we need that. We're not made to be eating by candlelight in a dark, cavernous castle with our needs met. We're supposed to be on a colonoscopy table scared, like worried. Like, is this gonna, I don't like what's gonna, and everyone's just kind of like, I loved them so much. I loved them so much. And I was like, broken, I say this all the time, but broken Pete, scared Pete, needy Pete, even Pete that maybe lost his temper. This is a good Pete.
Yeah.
It's like fertilizer. No mud, no lotus. You know what I mean? No shit, no lotus.
Yes.
But it's easy to remember that after the fact. To your point, I'm trying to go like, no, this is okay. Even while it's happening, this is okay.
Well, that's like, because you're kind of, when you're like in that state, you're kind of getting just a peek, like, because we all have it. We're all kind of like that beneath like the mask, you know?
That's right.
And
after
so,
the reunion,
we're
all like, man, I was so scared.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like,
Yes.
man, I was so scared. I'm so sorry I did that. I'm so sorry I said that to you. And when you're in that vulnerable like moment, if you could take a beat to be like, wow, this is like kind of how everybody secretly feels.
That's right.
A lot of the time.
That's right. Everything. Look, again, I like the no math mercy. But when you're looking for understanding, which is different from forgiveness or mercy, just some good old-fashioned understanding, most things that people do are because they're feeling scared or you know what I mean? They're anxious, they're afraid. They don't even know it. Like somewhere in their body, they're actually feeling uncomfortable.
Yes.
They don't even
Like the
know
coyote.
why. Yeah, the coyote is after something. And it's really a nice, something I try to think about all the time is everybody's carrying some unseen burden. I forget who said that, but it's just like, everybody. I remember, I've told this a million times, but Oprah had Obama on her show, and at the commercial, he leaned over and was like, was that okay? And it was like, even Obama. Like, I don't buy it. I don't think there's a magical person that never needs somebody to touch their hand and go like, it's just a little turbulence.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The plane is built for this.
The plane is built for this. Yeah. Turbulence doesn't bring down planes.
No. I love turbulence. I actually love turbulence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because planes are built for it. And so, like, in my head, I can go, like, turbulence has never brought down a plane. This is a chance for me to just, like look at fear like an alien, you know?
Wow.
And kind of, so, like, I kind of, like, when the plane is shaking, I'm like, this is cool. Like, I'm like, all right. It's kind of like a scary movie. We're like, the monster's not going to get me.
Yeah.
But I get to like feel a little scared.
Your body doesn't know that.
Your body doesn't know.
Which is
it.
exactly what's happening in a horror movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, your body doesn't know you're just looking at a screen.
I know. People think I'm crazy. Like, I'll be like with a friend on an airplane and like, we'll drop 10 feet and I'm like,
yeah.
This is awesome.
No, it is a safe little laboratory to look at it. I don't like it. I hate it. Because there's nothing to do. If there was anything to do, nothing works except surrender. You just have to. I know, and that's the lesson. That's the lesson.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good if like I'm drinking coffee or something. Then I'm not having. Then I don't like the turbulence as much, you know.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like trying to journal and I'm like.
So what did you? We mentioned alcohol, and then we'll get to Pappy. We have lots of things to get to, but your sobriety is interesting to me. And as somebody like me who's interested in happiness, by the way, I will say just up top, I don't think alcohol is like evil per se. Like my wife drinks, my friends drink. It's not like, you know, I'm just trying to not have too much judgment about it. That being said, I do think there's a discrepancy between what they sell alcohol as and what it actually is. And when it does try to kind of like claim, like picture a man in a sweater by a lake watching a sunset, like they drew in a glass of wine. Like they somehow co-opted just the idea that you might be sitting enjoying a moment. It's actually kind of funny. I was thinking about that. When I was young, they were like, somebody said to me, they were like, I love a cocktail. Because if you're just sitting by a lake, you're a weirdo. But if you have a cocktail, you're doing something. And I'm like, they did that.
Yeah. It's on purpose.
That's their marketing. That's like saying I love McDonald's because I'm loving it. Like they said it's normal to sit with a cocktail. It's not normal to sit just by yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, because it could be anything.
Yes.
Like alcohol did it.
Yeah.
But it could be like.
It could have been blowing bubbles.
It could have, exactly.
It could have been a kazoo. Like the kazoo lobbyists could have been like, you ain't shit if you don't have a kazoo.
Exactly. Like every ad for like, it's like an old couple in a bathtub and they both have kazoos.
Yes.
You know, where it's like, all right, thank God they have their kazoos there. Else what would they be doing?
Tub, you need a kazoo. If you're an action star, you kazoo. That's one of my big ones.
That post-coital kazoo. You
Wow, that was really hot. You just see Clooney with a kazoo in all the movies. Clooney's got his own Casamigos brand kazoo.
Yes.
He's on the motorcycle with the kazoo.
Casamigos.
Yes!
And then you sit and you're watching it at home.
Casamigos!
And then you're sitting at home and then you see him and you go, oh, actually, do I have any? Because I gotta grab one.
Kazoo. But then when you do it, it's not, nothing is all of that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I didn't have some nice times with alcohol. Of course I did. But like, I got confused. I was like, this is liquid sunshine. This is happiness in a bottle. Like, what is that song? It's like the river is whiskey and I'll just swim in it and be happy all the time. It's like,
Whiskey River, take my mind. Is it Whiskey River? Yeah, Willie Nelson.
And that's not how it works. I think even Willie knows.
Yeah, I think Willie knows that. Willie knows that now.
Well, yes. So what happened? You got drunk every night for 7 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, it's genetic,
Sure.
So like I remember the first time I ever got drunk, I was like 16 at this like party, and I like went in the bathroom. I literally looked in the mirror and said like, "Don't ever not feel like this, like ever."
Wow.
Like, and because I was just like, "This is the greatest feeling in the world," and then
that's right on. You got a good look at it. The voice.
Oh yeah.
Because I think Richard Rohr told me this in a book somewhere, or maybe he said it. I don't know. But it was like for an addict, the only feeling that's tolerable is absolute ecstasy. That when I would get drunk and high or something at the same time, I'd be like, finally.
Yeah.
This is what it should always be. And Chris Farley, when he got stoned for the first time, it was in his book, the book about him, he said, I just didn't know why anyone wouldn't want to feel that way all the time.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And then it kind of makes life like broccoli. And then then you're out. Like,
that's kind of the problem.
No, exactly.
Right? I mean, right?
Like it makes life broccoli, and then it makes like being like drunk or high the dessert.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, but life isn't broccoli. Life isn't some gross thing you got to eat so you can do the other thing. Like life is dessert too.
Right.
Like I mean, that's a bad metaphor because
No, it's a good metaphor.
Like dessert doesn't nourish you, but like, I like the same thing. It like paints not drunk life as like a chore.
Well, it splits it in two.
Yeah.
I remember when Seth Rogen did this podcast, he was like, we smoke and this isn't judging him, but he was like, we smoke when we're making stuff, like shooting stuff, because most people who smoke want work to be done so they can go home and smoke. And I was like, that's interesting. But there is something there. He's trying to get like, so let's make all time smoking time. Mm-hmm. But I think what I'm hearing you say is like, let's make all of life, not just, it's too cheap to say a good time, but make it vital. Make it precious, not just like
the time.
Holding the time. That's what makes the mystics and the monks and all these people so interesting to me is they're in line at the rental counter when the flights were canceled and there's no cars and they're still grooving.
Yes.
It's not just when the ice cream hits my lips or when the smoke gets inhaled or when the booze goes down. And we do have that capacity. The book that helped me quit drinking, which is called This Naked Mind.
I know. I read it because of you.
Really?
Yes.
Annie Grace. She's wonderful. But she made that really interesting point where she's like, have you ever noticed that people start feeling better when they order their drink? It's like,
oh my God. Yeah, that's so
I'll have a glass of
right.
wine. And I remember that. You start feeling like,
it's coming.
It's coming. That's your brain. Your brain is just running the show.
Yeah.
It's going, you taught me about this thing, and I'm going to bother you until you give it to me. Mm-hmm. And then when you say, I'll have it, I'll reward you then. Mm-hmm. So it's not even the thing. It's like these feelings are in you. You make them, and you've kind of married them. They shouldn't be married to anything.
No.
They shouldn't even be married to, like, you get it.
And like, I mean, even like, I don't even feel like if I'm super hungry, I don't even feel that relief when I order the food.
Yeah.
Which I need to live.
Right.
But then your brain's like,
it's
different. Your brain's like, okay, now we're good.
That's
now
right.
we're good. And it was, I don't know. So like starting from like when I first drank, I was like, this is like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
I got to do this all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like highly functioning. So I was like drunk every night through all of college, but still like had like graduated with a good GPA, like never got a DUI, I never had like a horrible like bottom, which is almost like dangerous in a different way. Cause then you don't have like a reason to stop, It gives the alcohol voice, the little gremlin.
This is my story. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is working.
Yeah. It's like, see? It's like the Green Goblin mask. It's like,
it is.
They want to take this away from me.
So is which is Gollum, which is just all the voices of the green things. But it's like,
green things.
I'm so with you. Alcohol for me, Val and I were just remembering this in this house when we lived here. We would call it burning the day. Mm-hmm. And I thought that meant I had won.
Yeah.
If we would start drinking, or I would really start drinking, maybe Val would smoke, and it would be like, 11 a.m., 12.
Oh man, those are the best days.
Just get ripped. Go to take a nap, wake up and like be sober, and then go to like have a sober dinner or do it again.
Yeah, do it. I'm like,
again.
Now I can do it again.
Do it again. But like I bought the story that's what, like, because it worked, because my lifestyle, they want you to drink. You're a musician. They give you drinks. Comedian, improv, they want you to drink. That's your perk.
They want you to. And I still play shows. And so I'm always just like in bars, getting the drink tickets. So just give them to my friends.
Yeah.
And it's always just like, man, it's like more valuable than money to like that world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
what did it, why did you stop then?
Well, I mean, a lot of reasons. I needed it so bad where I'm like, when I finally did stop, it was like 3 days of like not sleeping, throwing up, like the bad,
really?
Where it was like not ideal. Where I'm like, this is like a movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it is a movie.
This is like
you really had the full. Which, by the way, I think a lot of people do. It's a very addictive substance, but you see a withdrawal scene. You go right to heroin, but that's another thing this Naked Mind points out is that alcohol is very addictive.
It was bad. And then it was funny. I stopped drinking like in October of 2019, and then like went through all the withdrawals, made it till, and that was like I'm just doing the month of October, and then by the end of October I was like feeling great. I was like sleeping okay. I was like, you know what, maybe I don't need this. Like, I've got a handle on it. I haven't really gone a month without drinking ever. So now I'm good. October 31st at midnight, I'm like, you know what? I did it. I could just have a beer to like celebrate. And then just like drank 12 beers, was drunk all the way until...
Stop.
I know. It was the voice, the green thing.
Yeah.
Was like, you're good,
You've
dude.
earned it.
You proved it. You proved that you can stop if you want.
By the way, I'm compelled to share that like you can keep the good part of the voice. I don't like the voice that says you're good, you deserve it. I'm glad you should celebrate. Got married with a substance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's another co-option where I'm like, no, you can have the voice that goes like, you did it. You should be proud. But it's weird when that gets married to like a brain.
Oh yeah, but do you think they're different voice? I feel like they're different voices.
I do think they're different voices. I think one is imitating the other.
Yes, no, you're right. It's like the thing. It's like the thing where it's like it looks like a dog, but it's not. It's like, and it's like, hey, like I'm your best friend, and then
that's right on.
You know, because
he's doing an impression. You're a good boy. I'm proud of you. Like, but he's fake. He doesn't mean it. He's like, now let's go do what I need you to do.
Yeah, no.
That's why I quit nicotine. It wasn't that it was like nefarious. It was just like, I hate that my brain is like, I'll make you drive back home because you forgot it.
Yes.
And I'm like, that you hear those stories about like microbes that like get in your brain and they like control your body and they can take over and make you their host and all this sort of stuff. That's what addiction is. It's not.
It is.
It's not chill. It's giving somebody else the keys.
Yes, a different thing. Like in This Naked Mind, I think you said it like where it was just like, I'm this thing's bitch now.
I'm this thing. That's my summary of that book.
Yeah.
Instead of alcohol is like a cool Casamigos motorcycle. It's like, no, you're its bitch.
Yes.
And look, the fantasy of a Clooney in a button-down white shirt just having one, God love you.
Yeah, I wish I could have one. If I could have one, I'll be doing that. I mean, like, but
there's
just
even
know
part
myself.
of me, Blair, I think you can relate to this. There's part of me that's like, the fuck is wrong with you? One. What are you doing? That's how bad. Like, I wasn't like, oh, I wish I could just have one. If there's something that makes you feel a way you like, then drink all of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a really good point, too.
Like, quickly.
Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to trick?
I don't understand. Like, and Val still does that. When I go out and people are drinking, I'm like, why are you sipping that? Like, you just like the taste of Listerine. It's fucking Listerine. Drink it.
That's so funny. Like talking about how like when someone does something bad, you know, the cutting off, and then you do the math and you go, well, I've done this, and like I'm in law school right now.
Oh wow.
And so like we will like read cases and like I'm always trying to like see. I'm like I'd be very bad. I'm like doing environmental law because I'm like I don't want to be like anytime you have to like get someone in trouble, I'm always like, come on, we've all like felt like this before.
Yeah.
The one drink, I'm like, I don't know what that feels like. I'm like, I can put myself in the mind of like
almost anybody.
A murderer.
Yeah.
Who like killed out of passion.
Than a guy
who has
just
one
has
drink.
half a martini. That's all I wanted.
That's good. I just got it for the olive.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't know why this reminds me of, I'm trying to work on a bit right now where I was like, I really do think God loves everybody the same. And even that, I think, is not quite the most literal way to put it. I don't think God is somewhere looking at you and going like, I like you. It just loves it's just what it does. And I was like, if I'm being honest, I fucking hate that. Like, I wish it was like, Pete's the only one who gets me. He's the only one who understands. He's the magical boy. We're going to have the special concert just for him, the big party. Like, there's something about that with the drink. I'm like, I don't understand why that came up, but I was like, there's something, I guess what it is be honest.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I don't like that God loves everybody. And be honest, I don't wish I could only have one. I think that's fucking dumb.
I think it is kind of crazy. So why would you spend that money?
What are you doing? Yeah, just go. If you want to go to Detroit, go to Detroit. Don't just, I just want to be able to see Detroit. Go to Detroit.
Yeah, but I'm not a quitter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm not going to just have one.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by my new current obsession, Little Saints, which has brought cocktails back into my life. I miss cocktails. I don't drink, but I miss the ritual, the citrus peel, the clink of the ice on the glass, the winding down, something that tells your brain it's time to wind down. Little Saints is here. It's a real cocktail experience just without alcohol. Non-alcoholic, 0 sugar, 5 calories, taste interesting, complex, layered, smoky. I loved savoring every sip. It's not sparkling juice pretending to be a drink. It's its own thing, a true mocktail in a bottle, in a can, and they're enhanced with functional botanicals like lion's mane and reishi. Nothing heavy, just a little extra calm and clarity to help you wind down and loosen up in a social situation or just on your own. Perfect for weeknights, parties, or anytime you want cocktail energy without cocktail consequences. So live how you want, keep the ritual, lose the chaos. Check out Little Saints and discover your magic hour. Visit littlesaints.com and use promo code WEIRD to get 15% off your first order. Little Saints products are non-alcoholic. Functional ingredients are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition. This episode is sponsored by Roe. You know, seeking healthcare isn't just about your physical health. It affects the way you show up at work, in your relationships, and honestly, how you feel about yourself. And for a lot of people, weight loss can feel especially frustrating. You may be doing the right things, exercising, eating right, but still nothing changes. Well, you've heard about GLP-1 medications, but they can seem expensive, confusing, or totally out of reach. That's where Roe comes in. GLP-1s can be life-changing, but insurance can make it feel like a guessing game. Am I covered? What will it cost? And Roe clears all of that up. Before you even start, their free insurance checker lets you see if your insurance covers GLP-1 medications. And if you're not covered or don't have insurance at all, Roe still offers more affordable, FDA-approved cash pay options without the $1,000 price tags. No paperwork, no waiting on hold. Just submit your insurance card and Roe takes care of the rest, sending you a clear report so you can decide what's right for your goals. And if you do move forward, you're supported the whole way with access to a provider on demand and medications shipped right to your door. This is the easiest and clearest path I've heard of if this is right for you. So go to roe.co/weird for your free insurance check. That's ro.co/weird to see if your insurance covers GLP-1s for free. Go to roe.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications.
This just made me think about when you said about God loving everybody.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, not that God hates anybody, but I always get in arguments with people, not arguments, but I love having debates and philosophical conversations with my friends. And I have certain friends who just the idea of the randomness of tragedy and stuff really bothers them. And I'm like, don't you realize how necessary that is? And it's kind of the inverse of God loving everybody, is God punishes everybody indiscriminately too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not if you're really
It's
good.
impersonal.
It's impersonal,
Right. And
and it's also just so necessary.
Right.
Because if you could game the system by being a good person, if the worse you are, I mean, actually, it is kind of funny too.
I know you mean if you're really bad, you get bad things happening to you.
But actually, it is kind of true that the worse you are, the worse things do happen to you by your own making. Mm-hmm. But just the randomness of life, you could be the best person in the world and you never smoke a cigarette or drink a drink and you eat all the organic foods and then you just get hit in a crosswalk, you know?
Yeah.
And people be like, well, why would I even do all the good stuff then? Right. And I'm kind of well, because if you were kind to get something out of it, you're not being kind. Right. You know what I mean? Right. That's the whole reason, is that it could be taken away.
Right. You know? Yeah. It can't just be, I do this, I'm paying into something that, I'm investing in something that pays out more. Yes. That's really dumb. Yeah.
You know? So people are always and that's the same thing. God loves everybody. Someone be so I'm going to give to charity and go to church and do all this, and then God's gonna love this murderer the same as me, right? And I'd be yeah, because if He would love you more because of all of that, then that would be the reason to do it, right? And if you're doing it for that reason, then you're not doing it.
This is
for
what
the right reason.
Greg Boyle pointed out in his book. He was whenever there's a tragedy, an email will go out. Let's say it could be 9/11, and they'd be well, look here's 50 stories of people who slept in that morning, and isn't this proof that God loves them? And he's well, what about the 3,000? God didn't love them. Like, really, just step out what you're saying. When it's actually quite interesting to me is when we talk about God loving us, what we really want is God to protect us. Like we want like a bodyguard, or we want favor. We want somebody to keep us safe and all. And I completely understand that. But like, I don't think that's what's going on. And I think that's one of the things, not to be too religious, but like Jesus was crucified. You know what I mean? It's weird that the mascot of a religion that a lot of people, myself included in the early days, use as a protection policy, like a divine all-state. You'll cover me and nothing bad will happen to me. The mascot of that was murdered.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like this is like
help
the
me,
guy.
Jesus. Nobody helped you, but would you help me?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, who did God love more than Jesus, if you're looking at it like that?
Yeah, like in the hierarchy.
And Jesus said, take this cup away from me. I don't want to do this. That's another way of saying that's just not what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's not good people don't get hit by buses. But I don't know. That's a lot to ask people to think about.
I do. One of my biggest things is just that like pain. I like probably my favorite thing that I've like kind of realized, and I don't like. There's definitely flaws in this, but that like pain is the price of wisdom.
Yeah,
and that like one of the differences between pain and knowledge is like you have to suffer in some capacity for some form for most forms of wisdom. There's also a lot of wisdom you can get from love, but
no, I know what you mean.
Like
it gets baked in and becomes very vital and real when there's some suffering involved. Is that what you mean? Or pain?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot. Like, I always think of Job. Job is, like, my favorite thing. Like, I'm not, like, religious. I've kind of created my own religion in my mind that I believe. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a pappyist.
I'm a pappyist. No, I don't. It's, like, and I get a lot of lessons. And so, like, the book of Job is, like, one of my favorite stories of all time. And like my kind of relationship with the book of Job has changed because I remember being a kid. When I was a kid, I was like a very staunch like atheist, you know? Like when you're like 14 and you like watch a YouTube video about why God doesn't exist. And then you go to school and you're like, I actually know why God doesn't exist. And then like, so I always like viewed the book of Job. No, it is a thrill.
What a thrill. Sometimes I was in San Francisco and I saw somebody walking around with a MAGA hat and I was like, what a thrill. That must be a thrill to walk around San Francisco with a MAGA hat
That
on.
is true, yeah.
I was like, that dude, it's like a quadruple espresso and a cigarette right now. Like, that must be...
Dude, he's in coyote time. He's like...
That's just ripped.
Yeah.
Just like you. Yes, exactly. Keep going.
Well, because like growing up, like I would always point to the book of Job. I'm like, how could this God sucks?
Yeah,
that, you know, this guy has like dedicated his whole life to him. He's the most faithful guy. And like basically, like for anyone who doesn't know the book of Job, is basically there's a guy who is very faithful. He loves God. He's like one of the best. God looks down. He's like, man, Job is the man, dude. He has like a wonderful family. He's got a bunch of kids. He's got a huge farm. He's got a wife. And then depending on the translation, sometimes it's Satan, sometimes it's Hasatan, who like is just an angel who's like the tester of humans. But just for simplicity, I'll say it's Satan, which also when people are like, no, it's Satan. I'm like, so Satan and God are just hanging out in heaven talking about this guy.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that idea too. Like they're just like, they clock out of their roles too. Like they go backstage. And
that's right.
Like God's like, man, look at Job. He's so awesome. And then Satan's like, well, you've built a hedge around him. Like he has a huge farm. He's got like nothing really bad has ever happened to him. Like, of course he's your most faithful follower. Yeah. And God's like, I guess you're right. He's like, okay, you know what? Do anything you want to him except kill him. So then Satan kills all of his cattle, destroys his farm, like dries up all of his crops, kills all of his children, covers him in boils and like just horrible things. And like God, like Job, like stays faithful. And then God, like long story short, and then God's like, see, he is faithful, gives him back like tenfold everything, even though I guess back in the day, like a new son is the same as the one who died.
Yeah, I feel like in the olden days, like things were real brutal.
Yeah. Like he had an inventory list. He's like 5 sons.
Yeah. 5 sons. That's the same as the. Okay, we're good. We're clean. Nobody questioned it. But you got the 5. Yeah.
And then so like growing up, I'd always be like, why would I? Like,
is that how it ends, by the way? He just gets everything tenfold?
I think so. Like at the end, he like, you know, he's rewarded for his like his faith. And And so Job's like, okay, cool. I was faithful. That was awesome. And like growing up, I'd always be like, why would I love a God who would just use me as a pawn for a bet against Satan?
Yeah.
And like kill people that I love.
Yeah.
And then like it was through like when I stopped drinking and like went through like a hard breakup and different things. And like when you have your, like, you know, when life tests you, you know, and before like the breakup, you know, I had been doing all this stuff about like stoicism and philosophy and like being like, you know, all we can control is how we react to the world and all these things. And then realizing like anyone can be stoic when everything's good. Like, and it's kind of like, it's actually only when everything is bad that it matters that you're a good person.
Right.
Because like everyone could be faithful when everything's good. Everyone could be a good person when everyone could be smiling at everyone and waving people in their like merged lane.
Yeah.
And everyone can like give people grace when they're like have a money and a great family and is good. And so it's kind of like in life, it's during the Job time. Like I always call it Job time. I'm like, man, I'm in some Job time right now. Like this is like, it's actually more important now for me to be good than it ever has in my life.
Yeah.
Because like this will also set a precedent for how I'll act next time a tragedy happens to me.
Yeah.
Because they're like rare.
Right.
Like if we're lucky, we only get a few really big tragedies. And so it's kind of like, don't waste them.
Right. It's also everything that we're doing does lead, not to harp on death, but does lead to decay and death.
I love talking about death.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I think about this all the time. Like, if my own personal beliefs, my philosophies, the way I look at reality fall away when I don't have coffee or I missed a meal or I slept badly, they're not going to do too hot when I'm literally going, this is my last hour.
Yeah.
So we need stuff, meaning we all get jobbed in the end.
We all get jobbed in the end,
So
man.
like well, it's funny. One of those Post-its on that old computer says, we all have to trust God when we die, meaning reality. We all have to trust reality when we die. We don't know what's happening. So you might as well practice now, right?
Yeah. If you die before you die, you won't die when you die. Brian Murarescu said that on this show.
I know, bro. And I think, why am I blanking? I know that's from the Greeks.
I think
right?
so.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of funny too, because my band is all kind of like spooky Western songs about like cowboys and monsters and stuff. And I have a song called The Howling that's about werewolves. And in that song, I put the line, if you die before you die, you won't die when you die.
Yeah.
Like in terms like monsters. And
Right. That's fun.
which is kind of just a fun thing.
sure.
Because monsters are just like representations of like different forms of suffering, I feel like.
For sure. Of course.
And that's why I love werewolves, because I feel like as an alcoholic, I'm like,
No, that's
what is
right.
more alcoholic than a werewolf?
Yeah, being horny too is also kind of werewolfy.
Yes.
It's very like it's crass, but as soon as you're done having sex, sometimes you're like, "What was that all about?" Or
You're like, "Run."
You're done eating a huge meal. You're like, "What was that all about?" You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you go into these. It's the I don't like this term, but the animalistic side of us. And then like vampires are kind of like the billionaires. Like they live forever, but they're recluses. Are they happy?
I don't see many naturally tan billionaires.
That's true. Well, they're wise to that. So they're like, guys, I know they have meetings. I know you're going to want to wear a cape. Don't. Please, it's bad for all of us. If you wear a cape, it looks very creepy.
The optics are not good.
Yeah. And Frankenstein when I watched the new Frankenstein, I was like, oh, this is having kids. When he was like, I don't want to hurt you, I made you. I was like, that's talking to your children.
It is. And I love Frankenstein's one of my favorite books of all time too. I feel like monsters don't get credit for being like wisdom literature.
No, they nailed it.
Yes.
They picked like the 5 key ones and they've stood the test of time.
Yes. And this is just a little trivia thing, but like Frankenstein, do you know like the story of Frankenstein, like Mary Shelley writing it?
No.
She and her husband were on a vacation with, I think it was Lord Byron and another like writer.
At a Scarebnb?
At a...
Terrible.
No, that was good.
Go on.
And they like went to Geneva, and then like weather came and it snowed them all in, so they were just like kind of trapped in a cabin. And they all challenged each other, like, let's see who can write the scariest story. And she wrote Frankenstein.
No.
Which is just, and then Lord Byron wrote like the first vampire tale ever too, I think.
During
in that cabin.
What?
And then they left and she was like, I think I might make my story I might just like edit it and make it like a book. and made Frankenstein.
Wow.
Which is just crazy to me.
That's amazing. I want to know what the other stories were. The other one was just like, and there was a guy chasing me. You're like, oh,
like, and when the teenagers left, make out point.
Yeah. Just basic knife slasher stuff. Shit, that's amazing.
But but
what do you love about it? I mean, I just watched the Guillermo del Toro one. I thought it was awesome.
Oh yeah, I like drove like 30 minutes in theaters because it was like in select theaters.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a little different from the book, but I felt like a lot of Frankenstein don't capture the book, you know?
Yeah.
Which really the Frankenstein's like really smart, and it also is just like the story of Frankenstein is kind of like you put out what you put in, and so it kind of is like Frankenstein is like this blank infant who's super smart, and like
You mean the monster?
the monster, yes.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
No, Frankenstein, the big green guy.
You
You
mean the
monster?
This
yes.
is like the classic. Yes,
The classic.
But the monster in the book is really smart.
He like starts out like an infant, and then like kind of like in the movie too, like he studies, he learns this, he like hides in those people's shed, watches them through the crack in the door, like learns how to read because like the daughter's teaching the blind grandpa how to like navigate the world, and then he like starts like taking books and learning, and so then when he confronts like Victor Frankenstein, he's like super well spoken, very eloquent, has like read like Greek philosophy.
Oh wow.
And he like is like, why did you do this to me? And then like the only time Frankenstein acts like a monster is when the world treats him like a monster. And I like kind of like with children too, where it's kind of just like every single person has the capacity to be Frankenstein's monster in the bad way, or you know, like if you treat someone with kindness, you get kindness. It's just the basic story of just, you know, you match whatever energy is given to you.
And people are so often they're what you tell them they are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Going into law, I mean, that's the challenge of, I know it's environmental law, but in criminal law, it's really trying to be like, I know as soon as you say this person is a murderer, you just see them as a murderer, and they have to unwind that.
Yeah.
If they're trying to argue their defense.
No, I worked at like the Miami State Attorney's Office last year, and I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I just want to save some wetlands and save the Everglades and the Florida Springs. I do not want to like
with people.
Yeah, I don't want to have like, you know, people's lives.
I can't imagine what it's like to be a surgeon or a lawyer. I mean, that's like real.
Well, speaking about death
stuff.
This is like macabre, but like we also like during that we went to the medical examiner's office. And because they're like, oh, if you're like a prosecutor, you have to do this. I don't know if they were like hazing us or like what, but like, so I remember I was like thinking like, I guess we'll go there and we'll like watch an autopsy. Like there'll be like a pane of glass and we like, you know, and we go in there and there's just like dead bodies everywhere, and they're all getting just taken apart. Like people like there's this dude that guy's
casual. It's
very
not,
casual.
It's not like a movie where they're like
no, they're like slamming them like
UFC,
WWE stars,
flipping
them over.
Of course,
like the dude's
I'm
like,
sure the first one you're pretty ginger with it, and then like your 300th corpse, you're like grab his ankles and flip him. Yeah.
And there's like literally a dude with like a brain in his hand, like talking about like something that he saw in like The Office the night before, you know?
Wow.
And they're just like joking, and like I'm standing there, I'm like, this is crazy. I was like, I've never seen death like this before.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, like in the moment, I was like, this is just very interesting. And then like a week later, I went home, and then when I got home, I like got depressed for like 2 weeks because I was just like just seeing like these people's faces and like being like, oh my God, I don't want that to happen to like my brother and my sister. I don't want that to happen to me. But then death, I do love talking about death and thinking about death because, like, you know, Marcus Aurelius said, nothing is natural as evil, and death's the most natural thing in the world. And like, I think about death kind of like a lizard. Like we're like a lizard in a house, and death is like the person trying to catch it and put it back outside. And it's like,
wow.
Like the lizard's running from you, and you're like, I'm like thinking it's gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt it.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, like you're not supposed to be in this house. Like this is unnatural. I'm gonna put you back outside where you belong. But the lizard doesn't understand that, and that's how I kind of feel like we run from death. Like death's like, you're not supposed to feel separate from everything. You're not supposed to be like in this. Like I'm gonna put you back outside.
Yeah.
And so
you
I
shouldn't be on tile.
No.
You're supposed to be outside.
Your like little claws aren't like you're not supposed to be on tile.
Your eyes aren't meant to look at neon
yeah,
light.
fluorescent lights.
Get out of here.
Exactly.
That's really right. But we resist it because there does seem to be like an intuitive. We see it in the way that we talk about it in our stories, like we see so much death in our stories, and it's like this, the wind blows out the curtains kind of thing. That's our way of going like there's something behind it that we might not understand. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, I love that lizard.
I know. Yeah, I was driving and I thought of that. I'm like, wow, that. I was like, I gotta say that on You Made It Weird someday.
Yeah, there you go.
But
flip it.
I don't know. But also like it's so good we don't understand death.
Yeah.
There's like so many things that people want to understand, like the meaning of life too.
Yeah.
They're like, what's the meaning of life? I'm like, do you know how disappointing it would be if there was an answer?
Well, I love magic, and when I find out
magnets.
How did they do it, magnets. But when I say how do you do it, sometimes I do find out how they did it. It's always the most disappointing thing in the world, and you're just like, oh, it turns out I didn't want to know.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with death.
You just had a polar bear in your car the whole show, and then they walked it in with fish. Like it's a bummer.
You just killed a bird.
Yeah, that's the procedure.
No, exactly.
You killed a bird. Yeah.
But like same thing with death, same thing the meaning of life. I'm like, if there's like scientific, they're like, we did it. This is it. I'm like, there's literally no answer that wouldn't be disappointing.
Right.
Right.
It's like knowing how you'll die. Like, would you like to know how you'll die? And you're kind of like,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's a weird thing to say, but isn't there something vibrant and exciting about going like it could be today? I know that's dark, but.
No, it's true.
Kind of keeps you on your toes.
Actually, no, you're so right, because I hadn't really thought about that.
If you knew you were 99, you'd just kind of go around and be like, it's not today.
I know.
That would be nice.
I just close. Like my big trick would be closing my eyes and walk across the street.
Totally.
You'd be like,
but we don't know. You could be maimed.
Yeah, you could be in a coma for 70 years.
Well, that was something I had on a psychedelic journey. Is I said it already knows, meaning like the thing. It already knows. It just wants to keep swimming. Mm-hmm. Because I kept going like, oh, I see. And in those moments, I really felt like I did understand and was the truth of the universe. And then I was like, but Pete in a car, Pete late to a meeting, Pete losing his temper, Pete being a good dad, Pete being a bad whatever. Like all of that was just so fun for it. Like it couldn't get it. Like every type of movie, every type of story. It was like it already knows. We think we're going to like get enlightened or we're going to figure out the meaning of life. The thing that it all is already knows. It just wants, it's its nature to keep spilling over itself into different stories.
I never thought it like I never thought about it like that, but you're right. Because I mean, I genuinely think that we're the universe experiencing itself. Yeah. The kind of, as cliche as that sounds.
No, it's great.
And the universe is like, I want to be Blair. I want to be this person who's going to break Blair's heart.
Yeah.
I want to be this person who is Blair's going to break their heart. I want to like do all of it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm also just like, this is the weird part. Like I'm like the universe pretending to be Blair for a little bit. And like for billions of years, I'm just don't feel separate. So like this is the strange little like dot of time.
Right.
But then I'm curious about your thought about this, because I was thinking about this because everyone talks about the ego and that, your ego is the thing that puts all these decorations and ornaments on you to make you feel separate from the rest of everything. And that, everyone, like you're supposed to like, you have your ego death and you remember that you're one with everything and that everything is like in Ecclesiastes, like everything is hevel, everything is vapor, like everything is kind of an illusion. And the thing is like a lot of people, like a lot of philosophy puts onus on like the ego as being like the culprit as the thing that keeps you separate from everything. Like makes you forget. Right. But then I kind of was thinking about it and I'm like, well, if the universe wants to experience life as Blair, is it the universe why wouldn't it be the universe making me feel separate? Wouldn't the universe be like, I don't want to remember I'm one with everything. I want to be Blair right now.
Well, this is also an Alan Watts thing. He goes, an atheist is God's greatest creation because the more you forget, the greater the artistry. Yes. So if you get so far into the story, there's something deeply beautiful about a piece of God saying there is no God is the greatest trick. It's the greatest symphony. It's
Yeah.
amazing. God doesn't need it to say, I believe in God, like for God's sake. You know what I mean? It's playing hide and seek with itself.
It's like if a magician didn't know how he did it.
Right.
You know?
That's exactly right. So if you were whole and complete and everything and timeless and just and there you are, and there God is, and that's the only place God ever has been, place in quotes. But then kind of in the background or meanwhile or somewhere else or like a dream, it's also playing this game of separation. The more it forgets itself, the more impressive the trick.
Yeah. And that's what I'm kind of like, how the odds are
So are
stacked
we
against
ruining
us.
it?
No, we're kind of ruining it. But that's kind of, because also it's kind of like, well, man, I thought I was really just trying to combat my ego, but I'm actually trying to combat the entire universe that's trying to make me forget that I'm part of it.
Well, I think about this, but then this is where it starts to blur, because when you do see the shared nature of all things, it changes how you live, changes how you interact with, let's call it, the dream, and you start following things that you love, you start following things that are reflective of those values, and that actually makes the experience richer. And so it's not just ruining it. It's not the guy at the magic show that just keeps going, there's a dove in his pocket. It's not just that. It's like Vedanta, you think there's a snake in your garage, but it's actually a rope. That's a good thing to realize. That'll help you enjoy this world. It doesn't just ruin the fun.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
You just don't want to be afraid. Like, you don't want...
Yeah. You don't want to be a lizard.
Enjoy it. You don't want to be a lizard running around.
Running from a person, trying to help it.
Yes. That's what I think. I think your Jesuses and take your pick of your favorites also enjoyed a meal. They also enjoyed friendship. They also enjoyed the feeling of learning something. That was all there. But you just don't want to get so lost in it that you suffer. We're trying to end suffering.
Yes. Yeah,
Not pain. You'll always have pain, but you want to end suffering.
Well, that's the thing, is kind of pain. Kind of feel like pain is just wanting pain to stop. You know, like the pain itself is not the thing that hurts. It's wanting it to stop is the thing that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you could say suffering is also wanting the pain to
suffering.
stop. Yeah.
Because that's kind of the Buddhist thing, is like it's all wanting. Like craving, the root of all suffering is wanting something.
Yeah.
And even if that's wanting the pain to stop, is the wanting is the root of the suffering.
Or even when you're happy, wanting it to stay forever.
Yeah, wanting anything.
Yeah.
But I'll even do, like, if I like stub my toe really bad, and you're like are going like like it hurts, but like if you go like, something I'll do is I'll just pretend I'm an alien who's in a human body.
Yeah.
And be like, investigate the pain, and the second you actually lean into it, like, let me actually feel what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
The pain changes.
It's also made out of light, it turns out.
Yes.
Light meaning something. Even, we say this on the show, Val and I, we're like, even your sadness is made out of, it's not quite right to say joy, but it's made out of this crackling, these are all metaphoric, colorful, morphing, vibrating ecstasy. And even these, your bad feelings are made out of something that has no needs, which is another way of saying something that's very happy.
That's a really good way to put it. Because I always think, I'm like, when is the world more vibrant and alive than when I'm really sad?
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
like driving in your car, the sunset is more beautiful. Music hits harder. I'm
It's
like,
true.
I can't
This
look
is
at
Pete
it
before his
tree.
colonoscopy. You're broken, so the light is getting through.
Yes,
but
like
the
Leonard
light,
Cohen.
The light of I said that. I'm just kidding. The light that knows your depression is as bright and as vibrant and alive as the light that knows your happiness. So it's like the movie is playing a movie of you being very sad, and I've been heartbroken, I've been depressed, all these sort of stuff. But the screen itself is still crackling with this aliveness. Even your most drudgy, like stodgy, stuck, the knowing with which you know it is pristine. That's the luminous emptiness upon which your sadness is written.
Man, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm gonna like, I can't wait to rewatch this and re-listen to that like sentence. It's
hard to get into. I like the screen metaphor. Even when shit's bad, in a movie, the screen is always the same, and screen is consciousness, is knowing. It's funny. I was just listening to this on the way down. It's like the first step in spirituality is is going, oh, I'm not my experience. I'm the witness of my experience. So I'm not sad or happy. I'm this awareness that sees those things, those phenomenon appear to it. And then the next kind of click in is to see that those things don't appear to the witness. They appear in the witness. There's only this like field of knowing, and these things emerge kind of like clouds or ink in water. They emerge inside of you. And then when you look at what those things, those feelings, those thoughts are made of, they're made only of the knowing of them. And that's when you realize there's nobody in the other boat. It's all just knowing.
Yes.
My ketamine just kicked in. It's feeling real nice. Ketamine's not a delayed drug. I've been doing it anally this whole time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
I was smelling.
There's going to be...
The colonoscopy makes sense now.
Bro, I said while you're in there.
While you're in there.
And it was awesome.
While you're in there, treat me like a horse.
All right, we're brought to you by Ollipop. Look, Shirley Temple. That's good right there. Just that sound makes me happy. Okay, this episode is brought to us by Ollipop, which I am genuinely excited about because I have loved Ollipop for real for years. One of the biggest things I care about with my health is getting enough fiber, and Ollipop is a new kind of low sugar soda that actually supports digestive health instead of fighting against it like traditional soda. They're reimagining soda with high fiber, low sugar, and a functional ingredient blend so you get all that classic soda taste but made with real ingredients you can actually feel good about. And right now they just launched their new limited edition flavor, Shirley Temple Ollipop. It's their take on the classic you remember, bright, bold, nostalgic, but updated in a new way that feels really intentional. It's the original mocktail, the one that made not drinking fun, and they're releasing it just in time for dry January. It's a flavor everyone can feel good about, less sugar, real ingredients, and supports digestive health. Honestly, it is a win-win-win. You can get a free can of Ollipop. Buy any 2 cans in store, and they'll pay you back for 1. Works on any flavor, any retailer. Just go to drinkollipop.com/weird. Ollipop is sold online at drinkollipop.com and Amazon and available in the soda aisle and chilled beverage section at thousands of retailers nationwide, including Walmart and Target. Oh, that's nice. This episode is brought to us by our friends at Dadgrass. Why is it that when you want to relax and just have a little fun, modern weed products strap you to a rocket like a confused chimp and blast you into outer space? You can't follow a movie, you can't hold a conversation, you're just orbiting the earth, surrounded by empty pizza boxes and a lot of regret. Well, can't we just take the edge off? Well, can't we just get a little giggly with our friends, keeping our feet on the ground? Well, thanks to Dadgrass, yes we can. I am obsessed, legit, with their leisure drinks. It is a sparkling yuzu-flavored can that ships legally to all 50 states if you're over 21, and each one has 3 milligrams of THC and 6 milligrams of CBD, which is the perfect dose so you feel happy and relaxed without the hangover. Plus, they're stackable for a bigger buzz, and they are fast-acting, which means you'll feel it in about 10 to 20 minutes so you can get it just right. Get leisure drinks and all of Dadgrass's products, including their joints and gummies, all at dadgrass.com and use promo code WEIRD. Sorry, dadgrass.com/weird and use promo code WEIRD for 20% off. That's dadgrass.com/weird. Use promo code WEIRD for 20% off. Check it out. Okay, so we didn't, I kind of thought maybe we would start with it.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
been having such a nice chat. So do people know Pappy? Is this the breaking of the news?
I think this is kind of the breaking of the news.
Cool.
I'm gonna make. I have like a video, like a 2-minute video where I kind of like explain everything that I might put out like yesterday when this premieres.
Okay, cool.
Or today. I'm not entirely sure yet, but this is kind of like, this is definitely the first like.
This will be the like, okay, I made the announcement, but if you want to hear me talk about it, here's where I talked about it.
Yes.
Fun. Which you don't have to do that for us, by the way. You do it how you want to do it. But
Oh
that's
no,
fun.
I would
didn't know-
love to talk about. Well,
Yeah.
in my head, I was like, I can't think of anybody I would rather talk to this about than like Pete Holmes,
Thanks, man.
which makes me so. I still can't believe I'm sitting here.
That's very kind. Is it smaller and kind of dinkier than you thought it would be?
No, it's huge. I didn't know the crowd stays quiet. The crowd
they're
stays silent.
so good. Thanks, everybody.
All right, any questions? No? Okay.
Just a quiet. So how did Uncle Pappy start? And then how did, You're 30 years old. So when you do Pappy, you like lighten your mustache. By the way,
it's
go ahead.
so this is gonna be very underwhelming and disappointing, probably.
Just like the meaning of life.
Like the meaning of life. Yeah, this is me. Oh God, I set myself up to disappoint everybody.
Yeah.
But the Pappy is just a Snapchat filter. It's like just an old man Snapchat filter.
No way.
Yeah, and it like.
But why wouldn't you? I'm so that you just saw me being 46. I'm like, well, clearly you brushed in like shoe polish, right? No, it's a filter.
It's
an
just
old man filter.
Snapchat. Yeah. It started because I don't know. I just would make these videos as this old man on Snapchat and send them to my friends.
Yeah.
And
Was it Pappy? Was it that voice?
Oh no. I mean, it's so funny. If you go back to like early Pappy, it's a completely different guy.
Really?
It's like kind of problematic. Like not in a bad way, but it's very different than what it is
like a
now.
stereotype old guy.
It's basically an old man, like who. I'm trying to think. Like, so I would just make Snapchats being like, I'm like gonna eat this manatee, like being like a crazy Florida man,
I'm gonna eat, basic stuff. I'm gonna eat this manatee.
Yeah, stuff that I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And then I have to shout out my friends Wizards with Guns. They have a YouTube channel. And then I've acted in a lot of their videos. They're some of my best friends. They're
Wizards with Guns.
They're awesome. Check them out. They're like they could be good guests too. They have like almost 1 million subscribers. They're like big. They do sketch comedy.
Okay.
But my friend Frank, who's in them, like I would always send them to him, and he was like, "Dude, you should put these on like Instagram and TikTok."
Nice.
And I was just like, "No, there's no way. Like I don't want to do that." And he was like, "Dude, trust me." He was like, "Do it every day for a month. If it doesn't blow up, then stop." And I was like, "Okay." Like my third video like went crazy.
Really?
And it was me like on a boat saying that because maritime law, I was living on a boat till tax season was over to not pay my taxes. Which is me. I'm just I didn't plan it. I was just like, I'm living on the boat till tax season's over, baby. Like I'm eating sea turtles, and then like it like blew up. So then I like became.
Was that in April? Was it timely? Like
I don't even know. I think it was in April. Okay. I think it was in April.
Taxes
actually.
are on people's mind.
Taxes are on the brain.
Yeah.
And like, that's not true. Like, don't do that. That's not like
that doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
They'll find you.
They'll be waiting at the dock. And then so then I started, and then so I was like, oh my God, this actually works. I gotta like post. Let me just post every day now. So then it kind of morphed into me. Originally, like the big Pappy thing was like uniting the left and the right of America against England, because like all my videos, the original enemy, being like, why are we fighting in America? Don't we remember what they did? And I would like, eat beans on toast and like talk about how disgusting it was, and just talk about like praise George Washington, like he was like Jesus, and like I would like come like do like so I was like this very patriotic guy. And that was all like a satirical kind of character.
Yeah.
And
I won't even wear a red coat.
No, yeah, exactly. I would be out there like on 4th of July. I was like, you guys are not going to believe it. George Washington came. And there's like all fireworks and stuff, all my chimney.
Yeah.
And a fireplace. And then Ben Shapiro shared one of my videos and like reacted to it.
Nice.
And this might be a surprise, but I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro.
I thought you meant Ben Schwartz when you said that. I went right to Ben Schwartz.
The other, they're very similar.
I know Ben Shapiro, conservative,
right wing,
yes,
guy.
Wears a yarmulke.
Yes,
right. And
I'm not aligned with Ben Shapiro. And he also like is very kind of confrontational and controversial. Like
no, I know. I understand. He says a lot of things that I don't agree with as well.
Yes.
But yes. Okay. So he shared one of your videos.
He like made a reaction video to one of my videos, and I remember like my sister and people like all messaged me like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, that was like when I kind of was like, now that I have a following, maybe I don't want to like just be sharing like crazy patriotic, controversial like.
Did Ben love it? Was he like?
He was just giggling.
Yeah,
it was like the happiest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
And it's like him like giggling, looking at me in a pond.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, maybe if I like, it was the first time where I kind of had to grapple that people were watching me.
Yeah. So what are you gonna say?
Because it was all a joke. Yeah, I was like, oh my, like it's all been a joke, kind of just like this is hilarious. I don't know why, like what is happening, but I'm just gonna keep making these videos. And then I kind of was like, people are listening to me. The internet is already such a just nightmarish controversial hellscape.
Yeah.
And
the
I have
opposite of a Zootopia.
Opposite of Zootopia. And we, and I'd have like British people in my comments, like, why do you hate us? And I would just be like, don't like, what gives you the right to comment on Americans' Instagram? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like being like very anti-England because I just thought it was hilarious to be like, it's like nobody just hates on England openly. So and then I kind of was like reckoned with it. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to like make people feel bad. Even like comedic negativity is still just negativity.
Yeah, sure.
Which I feel like a lot of people don't realize.
I agree.
Like a lot of like
I don't care if
comedy.
it's your persona. It's still hard to be like
it's still
in that way all the day.
Yes.
All the day.
All the live long day. And then like if also a lot of comedians give non-comedians in their mind permission to have the same takes.
Oh.
And then I'm like, I don't know if I want like some dude, confronting a British guy in his hometown.
Yeah.
Thinking it's funny because of me,
Bro.
where I'm, you know what I mean? So I like really had to be like, even if my followers drop or whatever, I was just like, I don't want to keep doing this. So I just was like, I've been on a philosophical like journey just through, I've had like depression since I was like 13.
Oh, wow.
And like, even when I was like in 7th or 8th grade, I like was like kicked out of school for a month to go to therapy because they said they were like worried about me. So like I would like have kind of dealt with some darkness and then and that's probably also why I used to drink all the time. And then through stopping drinking and like consciously being like, what do I want my life to be like? I like, journal all the time. And so then I kind of was like, well, let me just start going through my journals and just start talking about the stuff that I journal about. And I remember thinking like this will probably like make me like lose followers or whatever because a guy talking about philosophy is a lot less eye-catching than a dude screaming about England and George Washington. But
I love that this is the story.
I know it's
because you have to give people what they want, and then you can give them what you want.
Yes,
that sounds like a bait and switch. It's not a trick. It's like, well, Ramana Maharshi, one of my favorites, would say, "I give people what they want, so they'll want what I give."
That's
which means he meant he would do miracles. And then they'd stick around and he'd be like, by the way, you know what I mean? So you did, I'm not saying you're Ramana Maharshi. I'm just saying you, it's a common thing to go like, oh, now that you're all here, I'm glad you liked my juggling. Like I'm can I tell you what's, not to be cheesy, but what's in my heart?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I truly felt like people are going to be like, what is this? Like, this is not who I followed.
What was the first one?
Like
you never did a one where you're like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about England, man. I love you guys."
No, I probably should.
No,
this is my England apology tour. England, I'm sorry,
man. If I know anything about the Brits, you're okay. They'll be like, "No worries, all right."
Man, yeah.
They're very polite. They'll be fine.
I'm trying. Honestly, I think the very first one that I did that wasn't like really controversial is still one of my most like viewed videos, where I just said like, I don't know about y'all, but today I'm going to have a great day. And just be like, I don't care if someone is rude to me. I don't care if someone like cuts me off in traffic. Like, I'm just deciding right now I'm going to have a great day. And like, it's so funny. All of the videos that were like kind of the biggest ones were what I thought were just throwaway.
Oh,
like,
wow. Yeah, it's never what you think it's going to be.
It's never what you think.
Yeah.
I'll spend like an hour researching some like thought that I want to get right. And then it just is like
sizzles.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Fizzles.
Fizzles and doesn't sizzle.
No sizzle, fizzle.
No sizzle, pure fizzle.
He walks in. Sorry, anywhere two or more are gathered or fizzling and dizzling. Snoop Dogg shows up.
No, he's like, Bloody Mary, you can't say something that ends with izzle 3 times.
If you say izzle 3 times in a mirror, Snoop shows up. You'll smell him first.
Oh yeah,
it's a weed joke. Keep going.
and then that popped off, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is pretty cool. And then I started thinking like, because my videos were like half and half, split between people who agreed with my hate on England and then people, you know what I mean? And then people who like viewed it ironically and thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, it's a very strange situation.
That's a weird comb to have to sift through and be like, well, this guy thinks I really fucking hate England.
Yes, exactly.
But he shared it. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
it's like helping it get out there.
Yo, he should. Yeah, exactly. It'd be like a dude in like a MAGA hat, like where his profile picture is like him in his car, which is just like every guy in a MAGA hat's profile picture is that. And then he'd be like,
because they don't want to look like they tried.
Yeah,
this is a new. It's not just MAGA. It's everybody. Everybody's doing their posts in their car. Like, they'll bring a studio microphone and do like a huge musical performance. But relax, I was just in my car.
Yeah. I'm not being too vulnerable.
Yeah. I didn't try.
Yeah,
I was just in my car.
I was just in my car pointing west towards the sun.
Yeah, with a light. Yeah, perfect. And I did 9 takes. Why is trying embarrassing? Just try a little bit.
I 100%
hey man, why
agree.
Is trying? Why is it hard? I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna try. And if I fail, it's fine.
That's my thing. I have a video about this where I literally say, I'm like, it should be way more embarrassing to not try.
Yeah.
Like, why is it cool to not try?
Fail faster. Fail faster. Yeah, get some fails under your belt.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to normalize trying and having fun and being excited. People also are embarrassed to be excited about things.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's one of the points of life is to be excited about things.
I know. And this manufactured casualness where it's like, like every video starts with the phone coming up. It's like, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, we know what you're doing.
Yes.
And it's okay that you're doing what you're like. If aliens were looking at us, they'd be like, and they pretend like they don't care that you're watching, but that's how they want you to watch. We like it. But if you just have like a hi, like we hate that. But there's got to be a middle ground.
Yeah. Why is it embarrassing to try? I was thinking about this with the singing. It's more embarrassing to be sharp than flat, in a way.
Oh, interesting.
Because in my head, I'm like, you're trying
more.
That's what I mean.
Clip it. Why is it more embarrassing to be sharp than flat?
Yes.
Flat is like, I don't care.
Yeah, people are like, yes.
It's hard to sing sharp. But
it's the same. Yeah.
Too much effort.
Too much effort.
Yeah.
And then people think like, if you're like flat, if you act like you don't care, people are like, oh, we got him to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we convinced him. Like, how lucky are we that this guy or girl who doesn't care is doing this? Yeah. And then it's like, if you're trying too hard, if you're like dancing too hard at a wedding, and everyone's like, get a load of, fancy pants over there. It's like, isn't the point of life to just be excited about things?
I know. I also think sometimes we envy. If I'm really bitter towards somebody and judging them, it's sometimes because I'm envious of their freedom.
No, there are definitely people in my life who genuinely don't care what people think about them.
Yeah.
And not as an excuse to be an asshole or anything, but just like they're nice people, but they're genuinely like, I don't know. And I have a tremendous amount of envy towards them. I'm like,
but it's funny. I like the rapper Mac Miller. You know Mac Miller, but it's not. And that style is very like, we're just recording. I'm not making fun of it.
No.
And yet I'm like, I know for sure he cared more about that song than you've cared about. No, you or I have cared about anything in our lives. And they did it over and over. And doesn't mean it's insincere. That's fucking dope. He really wanted it to sound casual. And to get there, you had to be the least casual you've ever been about anything.
Yeah,
in your life.
no, it's
like, we're going again. It's like
I didn't sound relaxed enough.
I didn't sound relaxed enough. I think that's cool.
But I do think it is cool.
But behind it, behind a dude who's going in the lane of like, I know it's cool to look like you're not trying. There was a lot of trying. And that makes it that makes it cooler.
It is. It's kind of like Dali or Picasso, where like you have to become an expert at the painting before you can break all the rules.
Yeah,
and it's kind of the same with not trying. Like
that's right.
But that's like,
but we want to jump to the not trying.
Yeah.
Right.
People, don't earn the not trying.
People jump to Monet. Is it Monet?
I don't know.
No, not Monet. Who do I mean? Jackson Pollock.
Oh, they jump to
Pollock. People jump to Pollock.
Mm-hmm.
People trip over themselves.
Yes.
With stand-up too. I see a lot of, and look, I love anybody that's brave enough to do stand-up, but a lot of us are newer guys, newer girls getting up there and trying to act like I haven't planned, I don't care. Some of them can do it brilliantly, so don't get me wrong. I'm not even thinking about anybody in particular, but like, you gotta kind of, you don't got to do anything. I found value in learning how to write a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I sound like an old man.
No.
I'm just saying, when I would see Louis or somebody who really is just communicating. It like seems like they really are just kind of jazzing it up there, and they know how they feel, and but they find it and they're hilarious. I'm like, yeah, listen to Louis' first CD. It's like real jokes.
Yes.
He's really doing like, not. I don't mean like Mitch Hedberg, but I mean like that. You got to build that foundation, or that's one way to do it.
Yeah, like there's almost math to it, you know.
Yeah, there is math to
it.
That's exactly right.
And then now it is kind of just like you are the thing. You know, the story is the joke. I just am a big stand-up fan too. I love talking about that too.
Oh, really?
I have to give a shout out. Last night I was hanging with Dusty Slay.
Oh, nice.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
And
he's great.
It was like one of the only times I've ever felt like I made it. I'm like sitting like when I'm at the Hollywood Improv. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Oh, were you upstairs?
Yeah. We were up, like after the show.
Isn't it fun that you have to duck under that little?
It was.
I love all show business.
I'm like, anytime I have to creep into a place, I'm having a good time. I love like.
That's why I like the Comedy Store. Like all these like weird fun house. So at the Hollywood Improv, the green room, there's a room. You go up some stairs and there's a room, but then there's like
a bookshelf door
where there would be a fireplace, and as low as a fireplace that you have to lower yourself to go under, and then you're in the green room. And I'm like, it's real Chuck E. Cheese shit, and I love it. They should never change it.
I agree. And I'm looking at all the pictures on the wall, and I'm like sitting on this couch. I'm like, I can't imagine.
Skinny Craig Robinson. Although Craig Robinson is skinny again. But like there's a dreamy Craig Robinson photo. He's in a suit. Dude, I don't know if you found that one.
It was so good. Because that's one of the funny things too, is like this now there's like 4 times, because like, I don't know, a lot of people will say like, oh, like you have like all these followers, you do this stuff, you must be making like so much money and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, my like life hasn't really changed because nobody knows. Because I've like, even in law school, most people don't know. Because I'm like, I don't know. I just keep it separate. So last night and like this are moments where I'm like, oh my God, the atoms of my life are different now. This is crazy to me.
Oh, cool, man.
You know?
Yeah, so keep going with Pappy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to derail you.
No.
Because it is interesting that it sounds, you're in law school. And by the way, there's no judgment here. I'm not like, oh, you're not trying to go full-time Pappy. Like you are doing other things. You're interested in other things.
They inform each other.
That going. Yeah.
It's kind of, because Pappy like popped off the summer before I started law school. And I like, my whole family and I had a big like meeting because I was like, do I not go to law school?
Yeah.
And the first time like anything happened to me because of Pappy in the real world was I like filmed an ad with Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny for their 4 Walls like bourbon, you know, which is funny. This was back when I was like very patriotic.
The 4 Walls Kazoo?
The 4 Walls Kazoo, exactly. Which is funny too, because this is back before I was like myself. This is when I was like the character. So even though I didn't drink, I'm like, this Pappy who hates England would definitely be doing a bird. Like, you know, I was viewed it more of like a Pee Wee Herman, like a character.
Yeah.
And that moment was a moment where I was like, this, like, life is real. Like, I can't believe I'm standing here because I'm a huge It's Always Sunny fan. I used to have a YouTube channel where I would, like, review the openings to It's Always Sunny channels as, like, a bit.
Wow.
And so, like, standing there, and he told me not to go to law school.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, I'm about to start law school. He's like, don't do it, man. And I'm like, God, now Glenn told me not to do it. I can't. But then my family, they were
the guy who looks like everyone in law school told you not to go to law school. Don't do it. Well, he might be onto something.
You look like me.
It's all guys like me, but they're not joking.
They're not joking.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me see.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still going to post every day, even like like the morning of my finals. I'm like in class, like posting at 9 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Doing my thing.
Wow.
And it actually like worked out amazingly because I'm like in environmental law, like learning all these things. Now I've been able to like use Pappy to like help environmental issues. Like I've worked with like Friends of the Everglades and like the More Perfect Union, like making videos about the national park system. And this summer I'm doing this thing with this environmental group called Nature's Nonpartisan. And they're launching a thing called United by Nature that's basically just being like, politics are everywhere, but like, can we all just agree on nature? And like that, like we need to like band together because we all breathe air and drink water.
Yeah.
And like nature has inherent value no matter if you can't put a price tag on certain things. And so I'm like doing a road trip across the country, like meeting people and interviewing, politicians and environmentalists and things, which all is like kind of stemmed from like being an environmental law, which is my like biggest passion. So it's all worked out incredibly. So I'm like super happy about it. And it's just, I don't know, just fun just doing. I just want to do everything I can.
Yeah,
I just love doing things.
It's great. It's great.
So yes, Glenn told me not to go to law school. I'm sorry, Glenn. And then I did. I am in law school now.
Well, good for you. That's very pappy.
It is very pappy, And I learned things about justice, about philosophy. Like in class, I'll be like, oh, I got to make a video about that. Like it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It all informs everything. So I don't know. I don't know. Life has been, I like feel like I like cheated in life because I just don't feel like the luckiest person on earth.
Well, to be able to do several amazing things, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And when the video popped off, that conversation when you were like, should I not go? Were you like monetizing? And when I say monetizing, I don't mean that in a dirty way. I just meant like, this could be my job. Like I could just do this.
Yeah, I think I could. I mean, I had Cameo, but I stopped doing that because I was just like, I don't want to take money from people who don't know that I'm not this guy, so I did Cameo for a while, like as the character. And then I kind of similar to when Ben like Shapiro shared the thing, I kind of had a reckoning where I'm like, is this right to do? I don't know. And then like kind of the same thing, like in my head, I'm like, I would love to have a Patreon. I would love to like do some subscription, like kind of thing where I like can do like, I'd love to do live shows.
Like why nobody would be like, Pee-wee's another guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, Pee-wee, I grew up, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I can like quote the whole movie.
Yeah.
I love Pee-wee.
But couldn't you protect yourself with the Pee-wee clause? This is a concern.
That's true. But I also feel like anytime you have to protect yourself, you might not be doing something right, Like just even the thought of like, well, if people get mad at me, I can say this. Even just having that thought, I'm like, well, am I doing like if I was doing the right thing, I wouldn't have to have that thought, So I've kind of stopped like, but now I'm like, I would love to be able to do things like do in-person things, do the road trip, and so I don't know, I don't know. It's just been a wild thing. I forgot like what we were talking about.
We're just talking about your ethical consideration, which is interesting to me because when we started talking, and you were like, I have a bombshell. I'm 30 years old. I'm not this guy. I'm in show business, but I wasn't like, well, this ruins it. How do you feel, Katie? Do you get if people would be like, hey?
I think people would be, I don't think people would be mad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
They could be mad?
I mean, it's the internet. I mean, I feel like just the internet. It's the internet. People will be mad at like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
I don't think you should care.
No, that's the thing. And I also have just been very conscious about like trying to do everything right. So they couldn't. But I also am like, one of the big things too is people go like, I don't know if people would have listened to wisdom from me if they knew I was 30.
Right.
Which is kind of funny because most of my followers are between 25 and 35. And one of the things I want to kind of get hammered home to the world with this like revealing is that young people are worth listening to too.
Right.
And that like wisdom isn't like age, like the cliche that like wisdom comes with old age. I'm like, it does kind of naturally because wisdom comes from suffering and learning. But like, there's a lot of old people who aren't wise too.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of young people who are 10 times wiser than any old person that I've known. And being like, I feel like so much of the younger generation has almost imposter syndrome in certain things. Like with politics, most of our politicians are super old. Like I like want to tell people like in their 20s and 30s, like, this is art. This is your world.
Yeah, that's right.
Like everybody's faking it.
Yeah, that's right.
Even the old people are all faking it. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, who better than you?
I mean, I find the older I get, the more you can start getting a little bit rigid and creaky, just like your body.
Yeah.
And I called you Ramana Maharshi. Now I'll call you Jesus. But Jesus was 30 when he did his ministry.
No.
Clip it.
No.
No, I just mean like 30 to me doesn't seem that young. Obviously it does on one level, but it doesn't mean like invalid. And neither does 22 for that. You know what I mean? Neither does 17.
Neither does 8.
Yeah.
A lot of kids like
my daughter for sure.
Yeah, Leela's saying like you yelled after they left.
Yeah.
It's something that like Ram Dass could have said, and they're like, they've zoomed out and they've been like, you said you had a reason for doing that, but you know what I mean?
Didn't. Yeah. I remember having that superpower as a kid being like, but that's bullshit. She wasn't mad about it, but she was just like, you just fibbed. And I was like, I didn't even know I did it.
Yes.
That's a special kind of seeing.
Because I feel like the older you get, the less free will you have.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like about getting older is, unfortunately, I start thinking I know I'm done how I feel about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'll have categories like sealed off.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, well, you should learn how to write jokes. I'm like, wow, I really think I know. And that's not Ram Dass used to talk about like, we should grade things by how spacious they are, how like welcoming and open they are.
Mm-hmm.
You should have your compass, but like, I think that's one of the things youth has for sure is less rigidity.
Yeah, I mean that's like one of like all the greatest masters in any like discipline. One thing they all have in common is they say they're students. You know, like nobody's like I am the master. I figured it out.
Yeah,
and then,
that's right.
Like it's just like the best. I like had a woodworking business during COVID for like 4 years before I went to law school, and like every woodworker I ever like worked with or talked to, people who would make the most incredible ornate things. Like I could always tell people I'd want to work with because they'd be like, what are you doing? Like how, like you've only been doing this for a few years, but like want to learn something new from me, even though I just learned from YouTube. And I'm just like,
right.
And then there's the people who are like kind of the assholes who are like, all right, let me tell you something about how to do this.
Yeah.
And then like, you can tell just how well somebody does something by how open they are to learning more about it.
You're absolutely right.
And that's like kind of the, oh my God, I think it was like Carl Jung. Or like it's like misattributed to Carl Jung, where he says like between stimulus and a response, there's a window, and in that window is like your freedom to choose. And like I'm like that window is like free will, and that like if you can make the wider you make that window, the more control you have over who you actually want to be.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the smaller that window closes.
I agree. You're more reactive.
Where you're just like, you know, someone cuts you off and you just say the first thing.
Well, that's why old people are such bummers to hang out with. I'll be talking to, let's say, someone in my family. But you bring up a topic and you're like, I know what you're going to say.
You can like mouth, you can mouth it like the script, you know?
Yeah, and I know what story that's going to make you think of. And I have to be compassionate towards myself because I know I do that on this podcast. If I listen to an episode of this podcast, you'll say something and I'll be like, I know one of the 5 things I'm going to say. So we have to stay elastic as much as we can and be patient when we're not. But old people do tend to not work enough on their elasticity.
That's the thing. And young people do it too. A lot of I feel like it's almost a trap now is that it's almost like prepackaged answers.
Yeah.
Where like you pick your label and then you let the label tell you how you would respond to any stimulus.
That's right.
You know? And that's like that window is getting smaller for younger people now too.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, no, like you're not supposed to figure it out. You're not supposed to have a label.
Yeah, groups are really tricky.
Yes.
Like when I found out Republicans were pro tobacco, I thought that was so weird. like for some reason I was like, well, why? It kills so many people. And my friend who I really loved, it was my first Republican I had ever really met. He was like, it's an American crop. It makes a lot of money. And I was like, this is a talking point. Like,
yeah.
I know you don't like cigarettes, but you also heard Tucker Carlson say that it's an American crop, and now you're saying that to me. And then I have my own versions of that being liberal. I'd be like, oh, we believe that?
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, okay, we believe that. And I'm like, this is a weird little dance we're doing.
That's my thing. I'm like that. I know it's like there's nothing more nauseating than like a guy in a podcast being like, this is why we're so divided these days.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it's like I'm like, what are the odds that this group agrees with every single thing that you think?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and it's almost like the onus for real change is for the people within the group to be able to call each other out, like on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, and I always like want to challenge people. I'm like, find one thing you agree with the other side about.
Yep.
And one thing you disagree with your side about, and like start having conversations
No, it's
again.
true. It's very similar to religion in that way. It's you become, and I don't mean truly political, engaged people. I mean, a lot of people are just like, this is my group in the way that you're like, we're Episcopal. Meaning they'll think about it for me.
It's easy.
I don't really care. But like if we started society over and it was just me and you and 5, 6, 7 other people, you might find out our true feelings about whatever. And by the way, this isn't code. I'm not holding some secret thing that I believe or disagree with. I'm just saying like a lot of times I'll catch myself going like, well, that's my party. because it's lazy.
Yeah, it's
in
easy.
the same way that you'll go like, well, I'm Catholic, I believe in purgatory. Or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah, yeah.
it might be. And well, I'm not Catholic. I don't believe in purgatory. It's like, well, can we really talk about what a purgatory is? Like, what is
Be like,
that?
why?
What's that?
Yeah, just be like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Why do you believe in purgatory?
And a lot of times
You know?
it's like because that's what my team believes in. And that's another reason I'm not anti-sports, but I'm not crazy about it. It's like I'm a Red Sox fan. I hate the Yankees and I can't stand Derek Jeter. And I'm like, wait, we all hate the same things? Like, I get there's fun in that, but you can see when you start burning cars, it gets a little weird.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, I'm always like, there's nothing I love more than like arguing with my left wing friends about things. Cause I'm a very more liberal, lean more liberal about a lot of things. And I love just being like, why do you think that? Like, why do we like, you know, or to make it less confrontational, why do we think that? You know?
Sure.
And that's like for people on both sides, word of advice, if you hear somebody say something, just be like, why do we think that?
Yeah, yeah.
And if they can't explain it.
I would say that Birbiglia and I, both as liberal-leaning people, we love having conversations where we're like, but it's a little weird that we're like, or like, why? I don't understand why. And we talk like in code. Like it's the Red Scare.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I hope no one's. But we just want to unpack things. Sometimes we do unpack and realize we are aligned with what our politicians are saying. But sometimes we're not, and it's so weird. Again, now we are two white men on a podcast talking about how divided we are. But I don't like that I see. Like that guy at the airport I see with a MAGA hat, and I'm just like, I'll assume 15 things about him. And he sees my fucking sleeping bag shoes, and he assumes 15
I know, those
things.
are cool.
They're great. He assumes 15 things about me, and I'm like, God damn it. So much of life is like, yeah, but if we were stuck in an elevator, or if society started over and it was just my family and your family. I've said this a million times, but it's the movie Greenbook. A racist takes a black guy on tour, and then guess what? At the end, he's not a racist. But we don't have time to go on road trips with everybody we disagree with.
Yeah.
But if we did, we would be converted.
Yes. There's nothing I love more than finding out I'm wrong about something.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm like from Central Florida. Like I went to a super right wing high school. Like I grew up in the Villages.
Yeah.
Which is like the world's largest retirement community. It's a strange. I didn't realize it was a weird place to grow up until I left.
Yeah.
And I went to college. I'm like, there's not old people everywhere on Earth.
Oh, weird.
That's weird.
Where are all your old folks at?
Where are all the golf carts?
And it turns out it was all a filter.
It was everyone in the Villages is a young person.
Sorry.
They and then so like in high school or like in like middle school and high school, like I remember all my close friends were like, "You're the first Democrat I ever met," like in middle school. And then I went to like a very liberal arts college, and everyone in college was like, "You're like the most like right wing guy I ever met." I'm like, "I'm not right wing. I'm liberal." And they'd be like, "You're from Central Florida. Like, what are you talking about?" And then I love being contrarian too. Like, I know myself. I'm like, if I hang out with a group of super left-leaning people, I will like make people mad just for the sake of talking about stuff.
I'm that way socially.
And vice versa. Yeah, socially. I don't believe it, but I just love just kind of getting to the heart of certain
I've
things.
never really talked about this. Like, if we're hanging out with somebody who's incredibly, and we have some very dear friends that I love that are incredibly, it's funny, I don't like the word woke, but like, I've used this example before. They were mad that there was a Basque cheesecake on a menu that was at I think it was a restaurant that wasn't Basque. So they're like, there's some colonization happening here.
That's my favorite dessert. Literally my number one favorite dessert.
Really? So good. And then luckily Val was there, and she actually, my sister-in-law is Basque and knows more of the history and was like, actually, that's not what's happening. But also just like, if I'm with somebody that I know is really, and I love that person, but if they're really kind of tight or rigid in that way, I get real sloppy. I get real like weird and like provocateur.
Yes, yeah.
Just for fun.
Yes.
We're all on the same side, but like.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like turbulence, you know? I'm like.
It's turbulence.
I'm like, don't worry. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to like, but it's kind
I
of
love
like,
you, but also.
and
And to that person's credit, by the way, when I start doing that, they're always, it might be a little bumpy at first, but we'll reach a cruising altitude. We'll turn off that safe belt sign.
We'll recline our seats.
You'll be reclining. You'll watch the movie.
I hate to do this. Could I pee real fast?
You may pee.
I have like a bladder the size of a quarter. I'm
No,
I should
thank
go to
you
the
for
hospital,
thank you for
probably.
asking. And there's a doctor in there. He knows where it is. Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no worries.
I-
We're just talking about nature.
We love nature. Nature has a bad. You'll appreciate this as a environmental lawyer. It's got the word. It's not very good. Like, hey, we all care about nature.
Nature.
I think most people go to like boring, like nothing to eat, no boobs. You know what I mean? There's nothing to have sex with. There's nothing to eat. I mean, that's not true, but like, it has the feeling of no eating.
That's the thing. I
and
don't know.
Bugs. I love nature. I'm just
bugs.
saying, like, what nature and this will bring us into our final segment here. What nature actually evokes is that stillness. Like a lot of Buddhists point to the sky or the woods, something still and present. Reminds us of what's still and present about us.
Yes.
So being in green spaces lowers your blood pressure. But what you're actually, I'm not saying you're not enjoying nature, but what you're actually enjoying is like experiencing the stillness in you by having it reflected in your environment. But the mind will always think that's nothing. In the very same way, it's hard for me to get people interested, not that I need them to be, in what I find most interesting, which is our nature, because the mind will always get into that sacred space, very similar to being in the woods or floating in a pond, and go, this is actually nothing. I'm not achieving anything. I'm not winning. I'm not eating. I'm not pleasure sensing. I'm not spiking my dopamine. I'm just here. So it's hard to get the brain to understand what's so amazing about nature and our own reality.
I mean, I think, nature, I'm like my biggest philosophy like person ever is Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Nice, bro.
He's
I'm from New England.
He is the best. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, because he's also like America's first like a philosopher, and that's like the ideas were uniquely American, and they're all just about the importance of nature. Like he is so much about nature that like God is nature, and like he says like no matter what tragedies befall me, there's nothing that could befall me that isn't remedied by being out in nature. And like if you just think about like for human history for hundreds of thousands of years, like of course being in nature is the right thing, like makes sense.
Well, there's something about a mountain that was there before you were born and will be there after you die.
Yes.
That will give you two types of scale, your own smallness. Ryan Hamilton's a comedian. Ryan Holiday,
I love Ryan Holiday,
who's also a Stoic, obviously. He says like it's very important every day to be near something that's bigger than you.
Yeah.
So the ocean or a tree or a mountain gives you that type of scale, but also the scale of time. Like this thing predates you by hundreds, thousands of years.
Yeah.
That'll make you a little less worried about, I'm not making fun of you, coming out as a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a deeply closeted young man. No.
Katie and I were saying when you were in the bathroom, we see a future where Uncle Pappy's Instagram and TikTok just says, Uncle Pappy is a character by Blair, blah, blah. And like people rolling with that because who cares? They'll be mad for a little while, we think.
Yeah.
But then like if I got a cameo from you and I knew it was you doing your Pee Wee Herman.
It was like Pee Wee, like Hannah Montana. It's like a very strange Hannah Montana situation.
It's just be me being Batman. Nobody thinks I'm Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like I get that you didn't say, hi, I'm doing a comedy. I think that's going to go away. The sting of that will go away pretty quickly.
Thank you.
I think so for sure.
I hope so. And I mean, I also say like if it does put people off, then I understand that too. Like I'm not gonna, I don't think anyone would, everyone is free, but also I'm still gonna make Pappy videos.
Yeah.
It's like he's like my best friend. I love hanging out with him.
I think it's going to be like a 1% of the thing will be whatever they are and it'll last however long it lasts. But most people will be like me and Katie that are just like, I love these videos. Nobody's like, this guy better have a license that says Gerald Pappy on it. You better fucking say Gerald Pappy.
Man, oh wait, can I say something about the mountains that you made me think of?
Unfortunately, we have like 5 American minutes.
Okay.
And how do you feel about that? I hate that we have to wrap, but this one's so fast.
No worries. Oh man, let me think.
How about 10 American minutes? I can be a little late.
Oh man, I don't want to make you late or anything, but I know we got to talk about laughing.
The hardest laugh?
And
well, you also have ghosts. You told me you have a ghost story.
I do have a ghost story.
Yeah, because Pappy does talk about the meaning of life so much that I feel like we're good on. We'll play a clip or whatever we need to do, but we don't have your ghosts and we don't have your laugh. So let's do that.
Okay, ghost. This is just a ghost story, you know.
It's yours.
Mine, yes. Yeah. And so basically, I was on a road trip going up to New York, and I was staying in Lexington, Virginia, like an old kind of Civil War town. I was staying in this old hotel, and I'll make it kind of fast.
You don't have to at all.
I know.
That was me seeing. I wear this embarrassing fanny pack. It has an EpiPen for my daughter in it, and I'm always worried that it's showing. I don't want people to think that I just wear a fanny pack.
I'm just open carrying an EpiPen.
I have an open carry for an EpiPen. I'll take you out with it. I'll adrenalize you. I know it's not adrenaline.
But anyway, so I'm in this old hotel.
Old hotel, Civil War town.
Civil War town, and I have sleep paralysis, which I've only had 3 times. So I'm like paralyzed. I like open my eyes. There's like a dead kid sitting on my chest.
What?
And like, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
Val gets it, and it sounds awful.
It's the worst, but I know this isn't a ghost. I know this is sleep paralysis, but you're like fighting to break out.
When you say a dead kid, though, he's just pale?
No, it was like this kid who's like gray, whose like face had looked like it had been like caved in by a cannonball.
Oh,
it was like a very scary looking kid. And so I'm like paralyzed, this kid sitting on my chest. And then
very Salem witch trials, by the way.
Yes.
The sitting on the chest was like a big part of the what's it called? When you're on the stand, your testimony.
Yes.
Would be like, I woke up and she was sitting on my chest. A lot of sleep paralysis, a lot of visions, a lot of stuff.
That's
what it was. Look, this is what it was before the internet. People were just seeing their neighbor, envying her land, and then having a weird vision.
So then I finally break out. I'm like out of breath. Because when you're like fighting the paralysis, you're like fighting with then so I'm like out of breath. I'm like in the room. I'm like, okay, that was sleep paralysis, but whatever. I'm like laying in the bed, kind of out of breath. And then I like feel somebody sit down on the bed next to me.
This is a good one. The feel of the bed. Yeah.
I feel somebody sit down on the bed, like unmistakable. The bed like sinks. I like jump out of bed, go in the bathroom, like splash water on my face. And now my like adrenaline is going. And maybe part of my brain was still asleep. I'm like trying to rationalize it.
Yeah.
Like maybe part of my brain was still asleep and like just that, but I'm like now I'm like awake. I've been awake for 10 minutes. Splash of water on my face. I like get back in bed. I'm like, when you're just like awake and you're like, if I just like try not to move, if I just lay as still as possible, I'll just maybe convince my body to fall back asleep.
Sure.
So I like lay as still as I possibly can, laying there, and then the whole mattress with me on it moves like 6 inches. And it was on a box spring, and when it moved, all the springs went like, bing! Like the whole mattress went like this. And I like jumped out of bed and just packed my things and just left.
0 stars.
At like 3 a.m. I left a Google review like, this room is haunted. Don't stay. And then I like left. I drove like until sunrise, like all through the day. And I remember thinking like, what does this mean?
Yeah. What are the implications of this?
Yeah. I'm like, this changes my thoughts about so many things.
Wow.
And now like almost every night, I'm like, I hope that doesn't happen. Now.
Bro, that's really scary. I always had, I don't think you could actually do it, but I've always wanted to take the most I don't believe in ghost people and put them in the most haunted places and just film it. I feel like it's an easy, non-scripted show.
That would be a good show.
So you get Neil deGrasse Tyson to stay in that room. The problem is, we all know nothing's going to happen.
No, yeah.
For some, like everyone's going to know. The ghosts are going to know.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm already dead. I don't need to be called fake.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. They're like, I'm going to go for my target audience. I don't need a heckler.
I want a fan.
I don't want a heckler. I don't want to haunt a heckler.
Yeah. Haunted hecklers. Yeah, you go where the love is. Even ghosts go where the love is.
I still don't know how that, but it's funny. Like
amazing.
Even in my worst fear is ghosts. I'm like in my bed, like a few months ago, my shower curtain falls in the middle of the night and like shoots me awake, and I just put the covers over my head. I'm scared it's a ghost, and like I tell my friends next morning, they're like, I would have thought someone was breaking in. I'm like,
you went right to the.
I was like, that literally didn't occur to me till you just said that. I immediately was like, there's a ghost.
Of
in
course,
my house.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I can be similar. But it'll be both for me. I'll be like, it's either someone breaking in or a ghost.
I prefer it's a burglar.
Yeah,
because then I know the rules.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know you're probably scared too.
Yeah.
and I can hurt you.
Yeah.
If it's a ghost, I'm like, I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah.
Can you touch
me? Are you
me?
scared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what
Does
are the
it
rules?
sizzle if I touch you?
Yeah.
Or fizzle? That's
That.
Snoop Dogg.
That.
We did it. What? Okay, so what is your? I hate that I have to run, but
No,
what is
no
your
worries.
last? Not your last. Your hardest laugh.
Man, I've been trying to think about this. I have so many.
Yeah.
I have
Well,
so
you know what
many.
I always say. It doesn't have to be a good story. It's just like, what's the one that like you feel in your heart?
There are a lot. There's like, I feel like I'm gonna let so many of my friends down by like not saying one that they're part of. So I just have to say like Carlo, Katie, Haley.
Carlo, Katie,
So many
Haley.
people that I have like the greatest laughs in the world. The Wizards, my brother, Bryce, Cameron. But like probably the one that jumps to my mind is with my friend Steven. And we were like in chamber choir, like we were in choir in like high school and stuff.
I'm already dead.
And this kind of goes to church laughter. So my choir director, Mr. Riddle, who's the man, Mr. Riddle, shout out Mr. Riddle. He would always just like give us pieces of music at the last minute. Like I think he thought we were way better than we were. So like literally like it was like the day before a competition and he's like handing out, he's like, we're doing this song too. And like, I'm like, what? And so then we're like in practice, it's not there. We get on stage and there's like chamber choir. So there's like 8 of us. There's like 2 of each. So
Yeah.
it's not a huge choir. There's 8 students on the stage.
Yeah.
And we start doing this song and me and my friend Steven are sitting like in the back and like, we're just like in front of the whole audience, you know, and he's like looking at us and it sounds so bad.
This is
Like-
I can't believe we haven't had one in this category. An unrehearsed choir trying to sing a piece is
In front of
the
an
funniest things.
auditorium of
Yes.
like 10 different high schools. It's a competition. So there's like,
Oh, this is the performance.
This is the performance. It's like it's literally on a stage. It's on a stage where like it's like those shining lights.
Yes.
There's 8 of us, and it's on like little tiers. So Steven and I are on over everybody, in front of this entire dark auditorium, and it sounds so bad. And then like there's like one break where like the sopranos or somebody do something, and I just hear Steven go like, and I literally cannot sing. And there's just tears streaming down my face, and he and I are both standing like trying so hard, like because we're like, and Mr. Riddle's looking at us because he's facing us, and he sees us like crying, laughing, and he's looking at us like, what are you doing? And that made it even funnier. We can't turn around, and we're like in front of this like huge auditorium, and I remember he and we're just standing up there like shoulders like this, and tears streaming down our face, just trying to go like in excelsis. And I remember like he like ends and he's like staring daggers at us, and he's just like, and like afterwards he's like, what was that? And I'm like, what do you expect me to do? I'm
It
like,
was
I'm
so
sorry.
bad. The song was bad.
It was bad, and it was like the church laughter, but 10
Choir
times
laughter.
because there's like an audience looking at you too. Like it's not like church where you could go like this. Like it's choir
Someone
laughter.
singing badly, or someone whose voice you weren't ready. Like there's a fake one on the internet. It turns out it was fake. Hey, Pappy. You know what I mean? Like people be posting things that saying they're real and they're not real. Still gave me a lot of joy. Have you seen this? It's a guy who has a really, really high voice. It's in like Dutch or something. And they're like,
Oh yes, and the interviewer, he's like,
and he's like,
Yes,
he
yes.
won't stop laughing. It reminds me of that.
That's
'cause
fake?
That's fake.
wow,
And guess who didn't care?
I care.
Oh.
No,
I was gonna say you.
I'm unfollowing that Dutch interviewer.
Yeah. Oh man, it's one of the best laughs of all time. There's no way, even though it's fake, that he didn't get into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That laugh turned real. It started fake, but it turned real. What a great answer. I can't believe we've never had a choir answer before.
No, it's
I'll never forget it.
Man, is that it?
That's it.
Pete, thank you, man.
And here you are.
Man, do I gotta say keep it crispy?
You do, but you got to do one as you.
Of course.
And then you got to do one as Pappy.
Okay, this is so like genuinely in high school being like, how am I gonna say keep it crispy someday?
You did it.
And now I'm here. So I'll say keep it crispy, everybody. And then Uncle Pappy would be like, hi there, man. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, the bugs are buzzing, the fish are biting. And don't forget, man, even when life gets down and you're in your Job time, keep it crispy, people. Keep it crispy. Peace and love.
In your Job time.
Even in your Job time.
Even in your Job time.
So crispy. So crispy.
Okay, you'll fade it in. Thank you
that's
so
so
much,
good.
Blair. That was awesome.
Pete,
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough,
Oh.
man.
You made it weird. You made it weird. You made it weird. Oh. yeah. You made it weird, you made it weird, you made it weird, oh yeah.